Hi. Helps if I turn my microphone on. It's just been one of those streams, y'all. Thank you. I've got a little production assistant over there in the form of my wife. She's fixing everything up. All right, so we are. Hi, folks. Thank you first to that $333 donation. That was incredible. Holy cow, we haven't even started yet. We've just got money flowing in. All sorts of stuff is about to pop off on this wonderful Star Trek Adventure stream. But first, I need to talk about why we are here. Because we're not just here to screw up our introductions and raise a lot of. We're here to raise a lot of money for Raíces Texas. Raíces Texas is a nonprofit organization that offers pro bono legal assistance to immigrant and refugee communities. They help people who come across the border and can't help themselves legally speaking. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but a bunch of fucked up guys in jackboots seem to be rounding those people up and putting them into camps. Raíces is here to help fight that. They believe that no person is illegal. It's something that I, as a native of Texas myself, I very much appreciate the work they do, and I'm extremely excited to be here to talk about, let's say, a better future, which you're helping to create by donating. Oh my God, so much money right now. It's kind of amazing how much we have got happening. So, real quick, I do want to announce winners for the contest that just went down for the last stream. So let me take a quick run through that, and then we're going to be passing things off to Joe so we can go to a future long ago. I think it was a long time ago. I think that's the one. It's got the lightsabers.
It's in some galaxy.
Yeah, it's in some galaxy. So first up, our $20 Modifius gift certificate. That was won by Michelle Ely. The So Nerdware dice and sticker pack was won by Undead K. The $25, I think that's a gift certificate to Evil Cat Games. Hey, someone named Joe Sondow won that one.
What?
Yeah, I know. I don't know, some yokel, who knows.
Coming.
The Monsters and Mayhem soap bundle was won by Crafty Psych. And finally, the Fantasy Grounds license, that was won by Sith Witch. So, any of you, if you could just message, as my brain falls out the back of my head, Welcome Party RPG. If you whisper to Welcome Party RPG in the chat, let us know. We'll try to get a hold of you, get all that stuff out to you. I am juggling a lot of plates, so I'm going to get onto this prize support thing and let one Mr. Joe Sondow take it away.
Hello. Okay, sorry. I'm just want to make sure I see what's happening because I'm overwhelmed by the donation so far. So we have, to my knowledge, one order of a queue involvement intervention, and then a second queue with a slight bump on it of $250 for a second event of queue getting involved. And then Darla just put in $333. So someone is going to time travel. This is stuff that basically I'm going to take my notes and some of them are going to happen. But for the most part, this is going to be new stuff. This is going to be stuff that I haven't the foggiest idea what's about to happen, and it's going to be awesome. But I'm going to. I'm not going to begin with Q. I'm going to begin by setting the stage. So first of all, the year is 2173. The starship Voyager recently disappeared. There's a new threat known as the Dominion on the far side of the Bajoran wormhole, and their leaders have recently been identified as changelings. The Klingon Empire has broken the Khitomer Accords and canceled their alliance with the Federation. People everywhere are worried that war is coming. And the USS Indra is in space. It is an Intrepid-class starship, similar to Voyager, but heavily modified, with a reputation for being rebellious against convention. And I would like to begin, if Fox has her attention back, I would like to begin with, should we do characters first? We can very briefly, in 10 seconds or less, go through and each person say the name of your character and what your role is on the ship. Captain, go.
My name is Captain Dana Locke. I am the human captain of the USS Indra.
Commander Care? We'll go
Hi.
with, what's on the screen.
Yeah, so I am Commander Karen Kerr, the half Bajoran, half human executive officer.
Mr. Hagen?
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Commander Etas Hagen, and I am head of security. Oh, I'm Betazoid. I forgot to mention.
That's why your eyes are so dark. Ruan?
I'm Kate. I'm Lieutenant Tobin Rulon, Chief of Engineering, and half human, half Trill.
And I am Dr. Ensign Teskadale, half Romulan, half human, Chief Medical Officer.
And you may call yourself Dr. Ensign Dale, but the convention that you don't need to follow is that you can drop the ensign when you're using the title of doctor. It's prestigious enough that you have that honor. However, you are the youngest of the crew, and you may not know things like that. Perfectly reasonable.
True.
And to introduce the situation that the USS Indra is facing is Captain Dana Locke will now present the captain's log, please.
I will do that very thing. Here we go. I will also, because unfortunately I didn't get a chance to test this because we're running 11th hour on a lot of things, hopefully there is a slight engine hum underneath us on the stream now. Hey stream, scream at me if it sounds like garbage.
It's a bit loud.
Tish loud. Let me bring that sucker down. Let me bring it way
Winch
down.
it down a little.
Yeah, just inch that sucker down. All right, there we go. Oh, I have lines. I was given a script. Excuse me.
Someone's already scared of the Betazoid head of security.
That's right.
You don't want the cop to read your mind.
No, as well, you really shouldn't. Captain's log, stardate 4692.1. We're en route to a remote science colony at Epsilon Chanda 4 in the Orchid Nebula to investigate reports of a strange celestial phenomenon that correlates with unusual weather patterns on the planet. The journey has taken several days, and the destination brings us closer than I'd like to the Romulan neutral zone. The senior staff have seemed a little on edge, and our new doctor is still finding her way, so I've invited them all to join me in some recreation on the holodeck.
And we open in a dark underground tunnel. There's only a little bit of light. It's coming off of a glowing sort of wooden staff held by Commander Kerr, who looks like their usual self, but you can see their Bajoran nose wrinkle and everything, but they're not wearing their Starfleet uniform. They're wearing a thick gray robe. Next to them, Captain Locke is wearing full plate armor with a shield on one arm and a sword in her other hand. Chief Rulon is behind them, dressed in a hooded black cloak, holding a crossbow, and her trill spots are just barely visible under the hood. Lieutenant Commander Hagen is wearing a green-dyed leather and wearing green-dyed leather all over, and a leaf-shaped hat similar to Robin Hood, and holding a longbow. And Dr. Dale, her Romulan features and her pointed ears are visible, but she's in a ceremonial robe, and there's the sound of clinking chainmail underneath it. She's holding a mace and wearing a necklace with a large metallic moon pendant. And you've all been in this program for about an hour, dealing with things like dungeon rooms, fighting skeletons, solving little puzzles and things. Captain, this is a holonovel that your wife is working on, and she asked you if you would try it with your crew. And she wants your honest feedback, and honest feedback comes with its own care that you should deliver it with. Mm-hmm. But you're in this corridor and you reach a dead end. Does anyone have anything that they would like to do? This is the direction you were supposed to go.
Have we been in here long enough, Captain?
We haven't even fought any orcs yet, Lieutenant Commander. Let's at least She really wants me to see the orcs. Let's push on a little bit further, okay?
Okay,
Doc.
I'll look at your fake orcs.
Duck, you're playing that race that apparently can sniff secret doors. Can you do that? See if there's a secret door somewhere.
I'll smell the wall.
As you
Doctor,
approach the wall, you
that
notice a
wasn't an
crack
order.
in the wall, but you can't. It's not obvious what you can do to this crack. What you
Can I
were
call
told-
my magic doctor powers?
um,
Can I have?
you can try.
All right. I'm gonna hold up my mace and say abracadabra at the wall.
Nothing happens.
Dang it.
Computer,
but
abracadabra.
you were told that the character of the rogue was supposed to be able to deal with secret doors. You were told by your wife, who tried to prep you on the genre.
Oh no, absolutely. Which one's the
Who's
rogue
the
again?
rogue?
I'm not the rogue.
I think it's me.
Yes.
Oh, so yeah, so
Okay.
just kind of I look over my shoulder. Tubes, could you?
Yes.
It's
There's
it's
like
a team
crack
building thing.
here.
Roll insight engineering if you want to deal with the crack and figure out what to do with it. Roll 2d20.
Can I
and-
assist?
Put my stick in that. crack.
That's 2 successes.
Never mind.
5 minutes in and we're sniffing cracks, y'all.
Are you
um,
supposed to put that thing in that thing so that it goes in the crack?
With Commander
And-
Hare's light source close by, you find a hidden latch. You slide the door open,
Oh, man.
and you see this room beyond is gigantic. It is so much bigger than what you were dealing with before, and the floor is way down below you. The far end of the wall is like 100 meters away. There's gemstones that are like lighting the place from the floor and the walls, and you see this shimmering portal on the far wall, huge portal that's beginning to open. And down below, you see the spherical thing turns with a dozen eyes and looks at you, and it screams at you, "You're too late!" And then you hear this, sorry.
No, you're fine. Sorry, I'm acting. Sorry, I know we're Star Trek. This is what acting looks like in Star Trek, but
Yeah, we haven't had that yet. Through the portal, you see this dragon head come out, a blue dragon head, followed by a green dragon head, and then a black one, and a red one, and a white one. And this five-headed, five-colored dragon comes marching out of this portal, roaring at you, and then it disappears, reappears, disappears, and the beholder disappears, and the cave starts to flicker and disappears.
real quick, I just want to cut in. Thank you so much for the $25 donation there, which with the, I forget what our 25, a critical success, with a crit going to one Lieutenant Tobin Roulan.
I can't imagine why.
Because
Thank
somebody's in love.
when you need it. Thank you so much. And you are back on the holodeck, still dressed in your D&D costumes, but with no foes to fight, no walls to deal with.
Aw.
And the holodeck door opens.
It seems
And-
like an unnecessary amount of dragging.
It was
That
only
was
one.
one dragon. That's one dragon with 5 heads.
That's right.
Why?
Because that's like it's a goddess that's evil. That Captain, that was awesome.
What about that thing, that orb with eyes?
I don't think that was a dragon.
No,
have to
that's
talk to
that's a
her.
thing. It's called a beholder, and it has all the eyes, and then it like shoots out different things out of its eyes.
But what is it beholden to?
Oh,
This
because
is an
it
Earth
sees.
religion.
No,
No.
it's a game. Anyway, so
Kiala walks into the holodeck, your wife, Captain Locke, and she says, what did you think? But why did you turn it off?
Well,
We-
first, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, please, Hagen, please.
The people aren't real. It drives me insane every single time unless I'm fighting them, and that was fun. So many dragon heads. Why? And the round thing yelled and flickered. What is that supposed to do?
I thought it was nice.
It's not supposed to do that. You're supposed to fight it. But I mean, what did something? I don't understand.
Well, I kind of stepped into the room and was, babe, I was so just amazingly incredible that it all kind of deactivated. I think you might have a small bug in your holonovel, Abe.
The cave was super pretty.
It was a
worked
very
fine
pretty cave.
for us.
That's very pretty.
That was awesome.
What
I
did you-
was
Was awesome.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah, it was so good.
What-
You know I love
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Be honest though. What
No.
do you think? Like did it work or did it need something?
I
'Cause
think
I'm not sure about the genre.
I want to fight the dragon-headed thing so much.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Thank
was
you,
hoping
Fi, for the
to
$20
ride it.
donation.
You
Right.
wanted to ride it? She's
Well,
taking
yeah.
a pad and she's typing.
Yeah, imagine it's like a ship but organic.
Also, do we have to fight things? Could we be friends with them? Is that an option?
You know, I was actually kind of confused, sweetheart. Usually your holo novels involve a bit more of that than of like, and I kind of swing the sword around a little bit.
I
Of
wanted to try something. I was
love.
reading about this and I thought it would be really interesting. And you're always, going on adventures and stuff. I thought, it would be exciting. And it's when you get your blood pumping, that's when you get to the romance stuff later, it's more meaningful.
That makes sense.
Thanks again for, we got more donations. We now have rerolls for myself and Commander Care. Thank you again, Scarlet Clarinet. Keep them coming, folks. They're great. I don't want to be able to play. I just want to have to keep thanking you. Racist Texas is worth
players
it.
please, thank you very much for the donations. And were those assigned to players yet? Those rerolls?
Yeah, one goes to me and then one goes to Commander Care.
Okay, please keep track of your rerolls
Yes,
and use them.
Very
as
much,
soon as you
yes.
like. You hear a communicator chirp, Captain, and you hear ping to Captain Locke.
This is Captain Locke. Go ahead.
We're approaching the planet, Captain. We'll be there shortly.
Understood. Lock out. Sweetheart, it was fantastic. And I give her a kiss. We're gonna have to come back to this. I'm sure, I'll have my staff write up a full, and look back at everyone, we'll write up a full report on this later.
Mine will be exacting.
Sweetheart, I'm sorry, you know how
She
Hagen
looks
is.
nervous. And she
You
says,
should be
"I don't
proud of what
understand
you've
why
done."
I'm turned off, though. I mean, that was the climax, and it shouldn't be doing that." And she's
Well,
like,
these new
tapping on the
ships.
and
Go
Chief Rulon, you notice the console's not responding. That's not normal.
Captain,
yeah, tubes.
the console doesn't seem to be responding at this moment. This is odd.
Commander Locke to the bridge. Commander
Ensign
Captain
Pay?
Locke. Yeah. Have there been any systems malfunctions reported in the last hour? We're having some trouble down in the holodeck, and I'm trying to see if it's isolated down here.
Nothing's been reported to the bridge yet.
Understood. Lock out. I don't know. Get a team down here, take a look at it. This whole ship, I mean, given everything that we, and by we I mean you, Lieutenant, have done to it, glitches are bound to happen. This isn't the first time I've had a ship shake a little loose on me. I'm sure it'll be fine. But if you'll excuse me, I need to get out of all of this and head up to the bridge so that I can...
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah.
And
Excuse me.
Commander Kier will follow you behind.
And yeah,
I don't hate the hat as I walk out.
Tobin just takes the robe off and just drops it on the ground and leaves.
Tesca will pick it up. It's okay.
I assume you have your uniform on underneath.
Yes, yes.
And yes,
Who's doing what?
I, of course, slip Kiona a kiss on the way out as I'm leaving. Yeah, but
She distractedly kisses you back and keeps
through
trying
through my helmet.
trying
or
to
whatever.
deal with the broken holodeck.
But yeah, I mean, once I've like shed my plate mail into my quarters, my first order of business is to head up to the bridge on approach to this planet.
When you come into your quarters, there's a man lying down on your bed who you've never seen before, and he looks at you.
Security to the captain's quarters?
On our way.
The man stands up and says, "Oh, Dana, don't freak out on me. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Q. How are you? You look wonderful. Is this am I in the right time period? I thought that I was supposed to be sometime in the spacefaring ages of humanity. Is this have you come from the Middle Ages?"
Quick question for the GM. Have any of Picard's reports about Q, are they widely read? Would I have ever heard of Q?
Yes, you might not have studied his face, or you might now recognize him from the file you read, but it was just some human on your bed at first, and now it's like, no, it's not. It's that guy from Picard's reports who changes the universe whenever he feels like it.
Okay. Slip my helmet off very, very gingerly. How did you get into my quarters, you strange
That's
man?
not important. People go in and out of things all the time. It doesn't mean anything. What I want from you, Dana, I just want you to grow as an individual. You are about to encounter things that honestly Jean-Luc would never have been able to deal with. It's quite an opportunity, and I believe that you're up to the task, but I can't wait to see what you'll try.
Thank you for the $25 donation. Thank you.
Thank
rad. And if you have somebody that you want to give a critical success to, let us know in the chat.
Thank you.
Yes, no, I'm fully aware that I've gone on adventures that Captain Picard will never embark on. See, I got married, so, you know, I'm on the greatest adventure of my life. I'm gonna need you.
That's 4 pips.
I'm gonna need you, and I kind of look at them, Captain, to get the hell off of my ship if you are indeed who you say you are. I'm really not looking to have a Wolf 359 today.
Oh, Dana, there's no cause for rudeness. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to get in your way. I just want to be here to see how you're gonna handle things. It's very exciting, and I'm honestly happy for you. This is a wonderful opportunity, and you don't even know it yet.
All right, well, so for a start then, hi. Apparently you seem to believe yourself to be an omnipotent being from everything I've read of the reports.
Wow. He sits down on your chair and puts his leg up over the armrest.
No, see, yeah, no.
I don't want to brag.
Okay, you know, it's a personal thing. I just don't appreciate men in my bed. So if you could just up and out of here, and whatever it is you're gonna do.
Go there. I wasn't trying to begin one of those courtship rituals, but I understand. You have your personal space and your personal needs. If I could just have a hot coffee, I will get right out of your way. It's all I ask.
I walk over to the replicator. Coffee, hot, black.
The replicator struggles for a moment, takes a little longer than usual, and produces a frigid cup of cold coffee. He takes it, sips it, and says, "Ew, freezing. You might want to have someone look at that." And he vanishes.
Aren't you? Okay, well.
With the cup.
Let me know when I can security override the door.
Yes, you arrive as this happens.
Phaser drawn.
The door opens. You see the captain alone in her quarters.
At ease, Hagen. I think I just had Hagen, do you know much about the Q?
The letter? Yes, I've heard some things. That was a joke.
Not laughing, Hagen.
I know you're not, and I can feel you're being angry at me. So, the Q, yes, they're dangerous, and there's literally nothing we can do to them.
Oh, okay. Well, then that precludes my second question, which was any advice. But glad to see you're on top of anticipating my, needs. It's very good that you can do that. Okay, fantastic. Well, Q just appeared in my quarters, in my bed, which I do not appreciate. Mm-hmm. Don't tell my wife. I'm heading up to the bridge.
Wouldn't?
Just keep an eye on. I don't know if it's related to our replicators. He seemed just as surprised as I did that it produced cold coffee for him. But keep an eye out. If anybody around here starts acting strange, or if any, oh, I don't know, Borg appear, just tap the old tappy tap. I'll be up on the bridge.
Yes, Captain.
Next second.
As you walk out of your quarters into the hallway, it's not the hallway, it's the bridge. This is wrong. You are not in, well, you were already changing out of your,
Yeah.
into your uniform.
Well, I was having that conversation with Hagen. It was like,
Take off the metal, right.
clunk.
You are on the bridge. Red alert is running, and everyone seems to be at full attention. Your crew is surrounding you, including Hagen. And on the view screen, you see this giant purple glowing thing and this second smaller purple glowing thing popping out of the first purple glowing thing. And someone says, "It's happening again."
What? A status report.
And you're back in your quarters with Hagen.
What's the confusion, Captain?
What just happened?
I was helping you get your armor off, and you started walking towards the...
Wait, no, I took my armor off. Q was here, and then I took my armor off, and then I went outside, and I was on the bridge, and there were purple things.
A Q is involved, Captain. Q is
My
involved.
head pops in, and I say, "Who's Q?"
Commander
I
Kerr.
already told that joke.
Yours was decidedly more letter-based, Lieutenant Commander. The Q, extra-dimensional deity thing that tends to mess with Starfleet captains as a habit. Had a run-in on DS9 recently. Don't you ever read the reports? These things come in all the time. You know I've been after you about that.
Yeah, it's just I have so many reports, and then there's more reports, and then there's even more reports, and then by the time I get through the first report, there's another 5 reports.
It's almost like it's literally what Starfleet asks us to do. Yeah, it's, welcome to the red uniform and the 3 pips. And I walk up to the door of my quarters and very cautiously put 1 foot outside the door.
It's in the hallway.
And I step out and make my way towards the turbo lift very gingerly.
Nothing remarkable happens. It's a normal trip to the bridge.
Well, oh, good.
No, go ahead.
Oh, while this is happening, Tobin's going to head down to engineering and look for Umar.
Umar is working, handling the warp core.
Umar, there's a problem. We had a malfunction.
One sec, just for the audience's edification. Ensign Umar is the your assistant in engineering, and she's Klingon.
For clarity's sake, we're off of red alert now, obviously, right? Because it's not really red alert.
Correct. It is not red alert.
Fix the overlay.
It was for a brief moment there, and thank you for changing the.
Thank you, Ulfric, for the $20 donation. You rock.
Thank you all. Please assign your point of momentum to. Actually, no, that's just a point of momentum. That's over 1701. So that's if someone could add a point of momentum to the group. For those who don't know the Star Trek Adventures rules, there's momentum and there's threat, and momentum is good for the players, threat is bad for the players, and they just got an extra point of momentum.
Because you're awesome. Thanks for supporting Racist Texas.
If there weren't an audience donating things, they would only get momentum from rolling really well.
For interrupting.
So you were going to the bridge? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Kate.
Yeah, Tobin's gonna go. Umar, there seemed to be a problem. One of the consoles wasn't working. Do you know anything? Have you seen anything odd happening?
We had some kind of power outage, or there was a drop in power, and it looks like the ship prioritized power away from the holodeck as the low priority system. Did you want me to reprioritize those?
No, I was just wondering what happened. Do you know what caused the drop in power?
No, I can't find anything. I just thought it was like a fluctuation. It doesn't. I don't know.
Thank you. Tobin's gonna. I'll look at it, see what I can find. But good work.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And Tobin will go to the console and just see if she can suss out anything weird or anomalous.
Well, at the console, you notice that the countdown of when you're expected to arrive at your destination is approaching 0, and you should be expecting to come out of warp pretty soon.
Okay.
That's once you know that, it's like, well, that's the priority because you don't want to overshoot your destination.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Anyone else going anywhere, doing anything?
I will change and head to med bay. Just normal duty until I get called somewhere.
Fair.
I'm going to wear the green jacket a little bit longer, but I will eventually take it off once we get out of warp.
What about the hat?
The hat is coming off, yes. The feather keeps brushing against things and annoying me.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It was a good luck.
People judge the hat harshly as I walk past them, and I've noticed.
I actually
like,
think it looks great on you. You should wear that more often.
Well, we don't have a green rank, but thank you, Commander.
And I just telepathically say, "You really look dashing in it."
He blushes a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Okay, I'm going to signal this because you are arriving at the planet and it is time to come out of warp. You are at, Captain, you're on the bridge?
Yeah, I'm on the bridge, in the chair, doing the captain thing.
Is anyone else going to be on the bridge?
I will be at the helm.
Commander Cares at the helm. You see the Epsilon Chanda system. It is very interesting looking. It is a binary star system. One star is larger than the other. There are planets orbiting the larger star, and one of them is an M-class planet that is your destination, Epsilon Chanda 4, where you are supposed to deal with some stuff. What is most remarkable is that there is a third star that's not supposed to be here, and it's purple. And it's has some kind of orbit relationship that's hard to judge at first glance with the two stars that are yellow and they're supposed to be here. But this purple one looks weird. It's slightly darker. It's got like the patterns that happen on a sun, but they're more visible and like than usual because it's not as bright. And this is probably the thing that the colonists had reported when they said that there was something strange in their celestial view, and they had also reported strange weather patterns. And you are now orbiting the planet, and you are within hailing range or transporter range of the colony below. You can scan the planet, you can scan the colony, you can scan other bodies in the star system. You can do whatever you choose.
Well, my first thought there was to turn to whoever's doing science, whoever our science officer is on the bridge at the moment, and say, "Can I get a Class 1 probe on that big weird purple star?"
So, point of detail here. Mm-hmm. You do have supporting characters, and they can take over when needed when other main player characters are not on screen. But it also is narratively helpful to include the other PCs wherever possible.
Right.
And you do not have in your list of 5 people here a dedicated science officer, but you do have a doctor who's an expert in science.
Right.
I'm definitely willing to be on the bridge if that's the kosher place for me to be.
It is an option, and it is at the captain's. It is at your pleasure, Doctor, to be on the bridge or in sickbay, and it's also at the captain's pleasure to request your presence in either place.
I mean, given your scientific expertise, I would like to have you on the bridge for this particular one, since we don't have like a medical emergency going on right now anyway.
I would love to be on the bridge.
Then in that case,
the purple star.
Doctor, if we could get a Class 1 probe on that large, weird purple star.
Yes, Captain. And I will do that.
So you are launching a probe.
Yeah. And I would love to check it out with sensors.
Which are you doing first?
I will definitely follow the captain's orders first.
Fair. I'm scanning the manual to see if there's anything specific about launching a probe. I don't think it's going to be very challenging to do. Is there anything about the probe that you want to specify? There's a probe can do different kinds of things.
I want it to relay information real time if possible. So if it gets destroyed, we get all the information that it's collected up until that point. But other than that, I think just normal.
And are there any specific types of things that you want the probe to be looking for? Or is it just...
Unless the captain specifies, probably just general.
Check for anomalous energy signatures. I want to know if this thing's actually a star and it's just putting off heat and light, or if we've got something more dangerous on our hands.
Yes, Captain. I will program that in.
Okay. So roll for me let's see, roll your science and reason, and someone else who would like to roll for the ship. The ship is going to assist.
I could roll for the ship.
Thank you. So for the ship, it's going to be 1 die, which is going to be the ship's sensors plus science, which is a target of 14. 14 or lower.
All right.
So I roll 1d20. Is that right?
You roll 2d20, and the
2.
ship rolls.
Right. Okay.
So it's a success. It is under 15.
Unless you have any talents that modify this. Okay, so the ship.
I can choose to re-roll, but I got 2 successes, so I'll keep them.
Okay, and do you have any focuses that apply here?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so the difficulty was 1, and you got 3 successes, so you bank 2 momentum.
Cool.
If someone could please add that to the momentum pool, that would be lovely. And you shoot off the probe. This little robot thing shoots out of the ship towards this purple star at maximum impulse, and it starts relaying information back to you. The first thing you see is that since you pointed it at the star as the target of the sensors, is that this star is not a normal star by any stretch of the imagination. It is not just its color, but its temperature. It's not hot. It's not even as hot. It's not even as warm as the surrounding space. It's completely cold. It has fluctuations. It looks like it has, little tiny solar flares and things. And it's giving off light, but it is cold. It is so cold that it registers as being at absolute 0, which is not possible for something that's in motion or something that exists in the universe. Nothing can register at absolute 0. In deep space, everything is just slightly above.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing registers, according to the probe, as being at absolute 0.
Thank you, Baljemet, I believe is how you say that, for the $50 donation. That is super awesome. I don't have in front of me.
Thank you. $50 is 47, which means point of determination. Please choose a player who should get their extra point of determination, which will be very powerful when they want to use it.
That is huge.
I will relay that information Galaxy Quest style.
It's below absolute 0. Other than that,
below absolute 0, Captain.
That shouldn't be
I don't need to tell
possible.
you it's not possible.
No, we wouldn't be able to see it moving. Okay,
And
it would have frozen our probe.
It seems to be giving off. The probe is the probe is still shooting towards it. The readings are becoming more and more sparse as it gets closer to the star, but that's the most striking of the readings. Other than that, it seems to be composed of materials similar to other suns, but it's everything about its energy signature is wrong. It doesn't register as having any kind of conventional energy at all.
Okay, concerning.
Mm.
Lieutenant Commander Hagen, open a hailing frequency to the it was a colony that was here below, I believe you said.
The colony on the planet is perhaps in distress.
I'd like to talk to them about this.
I suggest we send a probe to the other 2 suns to make sure they're not being negatively affected by this new star.
Make it happen.
And we'll do that.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. put in similar inputs and send 2 more probes. And the other 2 stars register as within normal parameters for a sun. All 3 probes, after a few minutes, they approach their targets, and 2 of them burn up as expected, stop sending back information. The other one doesn't have any indicator that it's getting hot at all. It just stops sending back information.
Okay.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And
Hail the planet.
You hail the planet. You hear a voice saying, "Hello."
Hello, yes, this is Captain Locke of the USS Indra. We're here about.
I don't see you.
Do we have visual on them on the screen?
You haven't brought it up yet.
I turn on the view screen.
Oh,
Well,
it's
I wait for orders to do something. Right?
hey, Hagen, if you could put them on the big thing, Hagen.
I put it on screen.
Thank you, Commander.
You see a room with a bunch of computer consoles in the back, and a young woman, maybe 17-ish in human appearance, but with pointed ears, probably a Vulcan.
Speaking of 17, thank you for the 1701 donation. That is another point of momentum for our crew. Thank you so much, Shadlin. Love you too, babe.
Thank you. And in the Roll20, someone just moved the point of momentum token into the box. Momentum is ready to be spent. We will lose a point of momentum after each scene, so if you do rolls and you want momentum, use it up. So you see this young woman on screen, and she says, "Oh, hi, hello. Are you from the Federation?"
Yes, my name is Captain Locke. This is the USS Indra. We're here about the distress signal that we received regarding the strange solar phenomenon in this sector.
She looks around nervously and she says, "I'm sorry, I mean, greetings. It's acceptable that you've arrived." And then you notice that she's wearing a coat and she's all bundled up and she's shivering a little bit.
No.
And she says, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do now. Hang on. Stand by.
Okay.
Oh my
And
god, I love her.
She steps up. She steps out of view, and she
But like
says,
doesn't pause the call. Okay.
She steps out of view, and you hear, "Mother!"
I turn to look at Commander Care, just like.
After a few moments, an older Vulcan woman walks into frame, and she says, "Greetings. My name is Naro. And who am I speaking with?"
I'm Captain Locke of the USS Indra. We're here in response to a $84.72 donation on Tilt. Thank you, Capjack.
Oh, that would be so that's a point of threat. 8472.
Too. Yeah.
I get a point of threat. Y'all are in trouble.
Oh no, we met this
no.
nice young woman, and now we're in trouble. Thanks, Capjack.
There's something suspicious about her.
Sorry, my brain. Y'all are
She's
killing
very-
it with these donations.
She's very stony-faced with the Vulcan demeanor.
We received a distress signal. We presume in regard to the large purple solar phenomenon that your sector is currently experiencing. We're here to assist in any way we can.
That would be acceptable. You have my gratitude.
Fantastic.
Is there anything that you require to proceed?
Just some basic information as to the nature of the emergency that you're currently facing before I send an away team or bring you aboard. Whatever it is you need. The Federation is here to serve.
Our colony has 1,500 people, individuals in residence, and we are on a scientific mission to study the surrounding nebula. It occurs to you now that no one has mentioned to you that you are this region of space is in a nebula, which is not the worst thing. It's just even more bizarre. What's going on here. And as a reminder, this is all close to the Romulan neutral zone. This is a weird place to have a Federation outpost. And she continues, we have had, over the last day and a half, unusual weather patterns. As you can see, I'm frozen to the bone. You don't really see anything from it.
Yes.
And she said,
go ahead.
our computer systems that normally monitor the activities of the nebula have been malfunctioning with greater and greater frequency, so that we are unable to determine the nature of the change in the sky, other than the fact that there is a third sun, and it is the wrong color. When the sun appeared, we began having cold weather.
Real quick, thank you, AJR, for the $25 donation. I love that y'all are making it really hard for me to focus on this story. It is fantastic. You're killing it on this.
Thank you for the donation. If you wanted to assign that critical success to someone, please select a player who should receive it in chat.
Certainly. We can definitely, and I look over at Commander Care, start heaters, portable heaters, blankets, any supplies we can get down to the surface. Start getting that organized. We can at least warm you up a little. We can at least warm you up in the meantime.
I apologize for the rudeness of my daughter, Nutak.
It's really no trouble at all.
And she looks over her shoulder.
We'll start by getting there. I'll assemble a science team, see what I can do about getting some people down there and doing a more thorough investigation.
I look forward to meeting you. Naro, the daughter pokes her head back into frame and says, "Thank you."
Happy to be of assistance. Indra out. And I wave to Hagen to end the call.
I do so.
All right, we have some kind of weird cold star. Thoughts, people?
Oh, it's not like we can tow it away. I don't.
It's like a nega sun.
Or an anti-sun.
Tubes, could you make the ship pull a sun?
Maybe.
I mean, I've been impressed and surprised before, Lieutenant, so...
It's possible.
How many passengers can we carry? Enough to evacuate?
The ship currently holds 150. It's designed to hold 150. Any more, it starts getting cramped and it starts getting challenging to keep people safe.
Yeah, you said the colonists were 1,500 or something in number?
Yeah.
Yeah, an Intrepid-class starship could push it at about 250, maybe 300.
If you started cramming people in here, it would become very dangerous very quickly.
Yeah.
We would probably need to call for backup at this point if evacuation is what we're going to be doing.
We
I
need a
think
bigger
we should
ship.
do that just in case it becomes necessary.
Any other
Captain Locke,
thoughts?
you suddenly have an experience. You feel overwhelmingly like you need to see Kiona. Like, you don't feel safe. You don't feel secure in your physical comfort and safety right now at all. You feel kind of panicked, and you feel like the cure to this panic that's coming over you right now, so you don't lose your composure, is that you desperately feel the need to be with Kiona, your wife, that you can't concentrate without her.
I turn to Care. Commander, you have the con, and I very swiftly make my way into the turbo lift. And as soon as the doors are closed, it's just, computer, where the hell is my wife?
Kiona Marquez is in her quarters.
Take me there, now. And then, yeah, I'm just immediately, as soon as I'm running down the hallway to her quarters. Our quarters, I suppose.
That was odd, right?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought maybe she just wanted some alone time right now. I mean, sometimes that happens.
Not like that.
Commander Hagen, did she seem okay to you? Is it something I should be worried about?
You sensed pretty much what I said.
A sudden flash of panic. A sudden flash of panic, but I believe the captain is more than capable of dealing with it.
Protocol says that Commander Kerr is currently in charge on the bridge.
And I
Who's
say,
on
well,
the bridge and who's not on the bridge right now?
Yeah.
I guess I'm on the bridge because someone talked to me. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll be on the bridge.
You came running when you heard
Yeah.
about the purple sun.
Yeah.
so I turn to everyone and say, well, before we check on our captain, perhaps let's carry out some of our orders. Let us organize some warm supplies. Let's get some space heaters. Let's get some clothing. Let's get that all down there. Any other suggestions?
Permission to request a backup ship in the event that evacuation becomes necessary.
Yes, let's get that call started.
I will do that.
Tobin just looks at the star. How big is it?
We'll get that information for you.
And I sort of approach behind, but not sort of startling Lieutenant Rulon, because I know that's a bad idea. And I just wait for a break in concentration to say, what is it, Lieutenant?
Just, I wonder if we could pull it.
Well, if anyone can do it, I know it's you. Is there any? Let's see if our science team, maybe coordinate with our science team and see if this is possible.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, that's we're gonna hold on that thought for a minute, Chief Rulon, and we're gonna come back and start some science in a minute. But right now, on the bridge, two things happen. One is that the environmental controls are doing something odd because it's getting very cold, much colder than it's supposed to be, and very quickly. And the other thing is that you hear a voice behind you, Commander Kerr, as you're standing talking to your crewmates from the captain's chair. It's a man's voice. And he says, "Oh, you're missing the point. You haven't even begun to understand what you're dealing with, and you're already looking for blankets and space heaters. Like that's gonna fix something. Like that's gonna fix a star that's cold. Whoever heard of something? Let's get some space heaters. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be offensive. It's just too funny sometimes how humanoids behave.
Stand up and put your hands behind your head.
I turn around. Does
I'm
anybody
holding a
else?
face around him.
Does anybody else look like they're reacting to this, or am I the only one seeing everything?
Everyone sees it. This
Okay.
is it's a man. You've seen him on Star Trek as Q. Q as characters have read Picard's files and you can recognize, because the captain mentioned something earlier. This is the being known as Q. He's wearing a modern captain's uniform with 4 pips, and he's lounging in the captain's chair.
And I just tap my comm badge
but-
and say, "Computer, regulate the temperature in the cabin, please."
Unable to comply.
And I look at Lieutenant Rulon and then turn my attention back to Q and say, "All right, clearly you've paid a visit to our captain. Maybe that's why the captain's acting strange. What do you want?"
Oh, I have nothing to do with any of this. I'm just along for the ride. I just wanted to know how you would react in this incredible situation. What an opportunity. Even the Q Continuum doesn't have access to this sort of thing. We could, we can bend some rules and take things to other things and, like absolute zero this and that, and you can move numbers around, but it doesn't just fall into your lap. It's much more exciting when it just falls into your lap, don't you think? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You did want me to stand up and put my hands behind my back, and it would be rude of me to decline. He stands up, puts his hands behind his back.
In my head, I say, "Commander Hagen, what do you hear?"
Commander, this being is beyond reading and annoyance.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. So how are you?
I think No, I'm just saying this out loud.
Okay.
So I think it's best if we ignore it. We cannot affect it.
All right. Doctor, phone call, lieutenant, science team, and you. And I pointed to Q at this point. Off my chair for the time being.
He
Or
steps
rather,
away.
the captain's chair.
He steps away from the captain's chair and he says, "I am insulted that you think you cannot affect me, and let that be proof that you can."
Commander Hagen, would you like to do the honors?
Of firing a pointless shot at the queue?
No, I was
Or
thinking
of escorting
perhaps,
them?
yeah, escorting them out.
I'll look over at the queue and be like, are you just going to teleport away, or would you like to be perp walked through the door?
You do this long look.
I just
Perp
dead
walked.
face him. Just.
You know I'm just gonna teleport away.
Be
Anytime.
gone.
Did you just exercise Q?
After he's gone, I'm like, by the four gods.
This whole time, Lieutenant Llewellyn's been trying to regulate the cabin temperature, figure out what's going on with the computer and why it won't regulate temperature.
All right.
We
So
can't regulate. Maybe we should move further away.
first of all, you're you need to do the first thing you said, which is try to figure out why it's doing that, and then see if you
Pull
can
my
do
wizard's robes and just wear them. I had them in my hand all the time because I didn't have a chance to go back to my cabin, so it was just neatly on my hand this entire time.
it. Do you still have the wooden staff? It's not glowing anymore, but it's a wooden staff.
Yeah, it's just sort of put leaning against my console for the time being.
Nice to carry a stick around. It's nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Chief Rulon, you are trying to figure out what's going on with the environmental controls that are making it's making the room you're in cold. It's making the bridge cold. A lot of the ship is becoming very, very cold, dangerously cold.
May I assist?
Yeah, I was going to ask Dr. Dale to assist.
Yeah, you can call her down and she can help. So you will be rolling 2 dice, more if you are spending momentum, spending determination, using talents. But the base is 2 dice, and the target for each die is your engineering plus reason.
Does this fall under power systems? Or is that something else? Just so I know.
Power systems, electroplasma power systems.
Mhm.
Your focus.
Yeah.
It could, but it's not this doesn't seem like well, it could. You don't know yet, but
Okay. Because that's a focus. So, all right. Okay, cool.
And I roll 1. Right? One
Roll,
die
you
to
roll.
assist.
Yeah.
What's the
The
challenge?
target, the challenge is 2. The target is 2 successes.
I think I'll spend a momentum too, if
Yeah,
that's okay.
we've got
with everybody.
we
All right.
got a ton of momentum. Please
Yeah, I figured I
burn
might as well
through it.
spend a momentum.
Absolutely.
No momentum, you get an extra die.
That is 2 successes.
I add a third.
All right, so then you bank 1 momentum. You get that momentum back.
Cool.
And the problem, the reason that the environmental controls are shifting to cold does seem like it's related to some power losses in the system. You notice now that the overall power that the engines are putting out normally is increasing all the time. It's normally just keeping you at a steady amount. In game terms, the number of power that your ship has is a certain number that begins fresh at the start of every scene. And right now, that's not happening. The power that you're using up to keep life support on and everything else, it's draining the engines, and they're not producing power as quickly as they're using it up. And some of the life support is not supposed to be deprioritized. When the system has to decide where to send power, it might cut out some holodeck fun time, but it's not supposed to cut out heat. Heat is up at the top of the list of things to keep. So there's something else going on in addition. You just notice first that there's there's definitely power loss to heat. Why there's power loss to heat is another question, and you could spend momentum to obtain more information.
I think I would, yeah.
Okay, so spend 1 momentum and ask me a question, and I will answer it honestly.
What is causing the power loss?
The power loss is being caused by some kind of energy, some kind of signal or waveform that's that the ship is currently experiencing, that's passing through. Some an amount of something that's similar to an energy beam being sent at the ship, radiation of some kind, or something that is hard to identify, but it coming from outside the ship. And it's not something that's easily labeled. I'm using half gibberish words because what you're seeing is it's something from outside the ship, but you can't put a label on it right away. You could spend additional momentum if you wanted to try to narrow it down, but that's what you can tell at a glance.
I'm tempted to because we really need to know what's going on with this.
It's your call,
I'm fine
Chief.
with it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you spend another momentum. For more information, ask me another question.
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from the direction of that purple star.
Okay. Dr. Dale, the star seems to be emitting some kind of radiation frequency that seems to be lowering our power supply.
Is there any way we can block that signal?
I don't know.
Do you want to spend another momentum to ask an additional question? This task has not ended yet.
We might as well. We only have 1. We're going to lose it at the end of the scene.
Sure.
Ask me a question.
I want you to ask the question.
How can we block this signal?
To block the signal, you could go out of range of when the signal started affecting the ship, or you could try to understand more about the nature of the signal and then work on a scientific breakthrough process of inventing some new type of shielding. You don't know yet how long that would take to do that.
It doesn't seem like it'll be easy to block. The only thing we can do right now is go out of range. Otherwise, we would have to study it further to come up with a way to block it. I don't know if we have that kind of time. I don't know if the people on the surface of the planet have that kind of time either.
Am I involved in this conversation, or is it between the two of you?
I'm talking loud enough that
I mean, you're the commander,
Oh,
like,
no,
on
sorry.
deck.
Yeah.
You're
It's on the-
always involved in any conversation you
Okay,
want
I
to
know,
be
but it's
involved
like
in.
I don't necessarily want to butt in, but
You're the commander on deck. You are involved in any
Butt in.
conversation you want to be
Okay.
involved
Can
in.
I assume we sent the message out for the other ship already?
Ooh, you want to what?
Remember how we were going to send for another ship? I just wanted to
you
like
wanna call
really
Star?
quick. Yeah. Can I assume that I did that real quick, like a 2-liner, like please assistance backup?
Yeah, you basically send a subspace email. You're not within range for a video conference with
That's
any.
fine. We don't have time for that.
yeah. So I say, if we move out of range, will we be out of range of assistance for the civilian for the the population, the colony down there?
That's an easy one. It's yes.
Yeah, assuming that we came into range of the signal when we experienced the fluctuation in the holodeck, that seems likely.
Well, we can't abandon them.
We can't help them if we're powerless.
I can continue monitoring until it's dire.
Okay,
We can stay until that point.
let's get out of range for the time
The
being.
warp drive just went offline.
Good.
The warp drive is offline. Why didn't this affect us warping in?
We still had enough power at that point. Hadn't drained to the point where we lost the warp.
Wouldn't it? Because with the piloting, wouldn't it have warped, altered locational whatever it is that stars do, like it was a star if it's a star, and wouldn't that have altered our warp location? I don't know.
That's why you
Apparently
work
not.
security.
Me as a helms person and knowing something about piloting would my character know, because I, the player, am not very good at all of this.
What's your question as an expert?
Some
An expert pilot.
basically what Kevin had asked, which was why hadn't it affected us warping in?
Once you're in warp, you're using power. I mean, you don't really know. It's basically like you were warping in, you stopped the warp engine to stop, and later on, you lost power. But your intuition as an expert in these types of systems is like you're noticing that some systems are failing at different times. It's not all at once.
I will ask Rulon if there's any way we can prioritize life support any more than it's already
Yeah,
been.
I was going to Rulong to Ensign Umar.
Umar here.
Can we prioritize life support above all else right now? We seem to be having power fluctuations and we're steadily losing power.
Yeah, the warp drive just went dead.
Yes, I know. We are working with it as much as we can up here, but I need you to work on prioritizing life support at this time.
Will do. Is there any specific systems that I can route power from? Because we're kind of stretched for power right now.
I have a
We need our
suggestion.
warp engines back on.
I have a suggestion. We can have security move people out of rooms into a single room to kind of conserve body heat, as well as reduce the number of rooms needing power and life support.
So,
Yes.
logistically, Commander Kara, you know how this ship functions, and there's 150 people who, a third of them are on duty right now, and probably a third of them are working even though they're off duty, and they all have jobs to make things run smoothly. And if you put them all into the cafeteria all at the same time, you will have a lot less ability for the ship to function normally.
But that
I
still leaves a
would-
third of our people that we can put in one room.
Yeah, I would suggest getting those who are off duty and relaxing to perhaps relax in a smaller space.
Shut down crew quarters.
Yeah.
I will say also too, something to keep in mind is that there are other larger systems we could take power away from. For example, if we wanted to pull power from sensors, weapons, shields, other non-essential things like that, you might be able to get some juice. Just as a
Okay.
Exactly.
I would also suggest, since we are not in danger yet, to maybe divert power from weapons at the moment, and perhaps from sickbay as well.
Behind you, an ensign says, "Commander, a Romulan ship just decloaked."
Oh,
Belay that order.
we need to get out of here.
Yeah,
You see a Romulan warbird not far from the Endra.
real quick. Thank you, China Sword, for donating $50. Holy
Oh.
crap! You're awesome.
That's a point of determination for someone. Please, if you can, chat who you would like your point of determination to go towards.
Anyway, Romulan warbird.
At this point, I say, Commander Hagen, find out
Yes.
where the captain has gone. We will need all hands on deck.
Let's cut to the captain. Given that
If
there's
I
a
may,
Romulan warbird
well,
outside, but let's cut to the captain.
Well, regarding that Romulan warbird, if I may, as much as I don't want to tell you how to do your job, you might want to go to at least yellow alert.
I was going to suggest too, yeah.
Yeah.
This is more than just an oopsie. This is an oh shit.
It's acceptable to metagame to simulate everyone's expertise.
I probably would have done a yellow alert, because I, the player, am not very good at all the protocols. So yes, I would go to yellow alert.
Everyone feel free to help each other out with
Yeah.
things like that because the characters are more expert than the players. Thank you, Fox.
Yes.
As,
Yes.
as a commander on a Starfleet vessel, you would know that 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yellow alert. The
Which
word.
automatically means shields up. So cutting power
Yeah.
from shields is no longer an option.
I wasn't
Um,
going to cut it from shields, but I was going to say from weapon and sick bay, and I was like, belay that order.
Everyone get a coat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing you still have that cloak.
Yes.
Everyone put your D&D costumes back on.
Yes.
So we're going to backtrack a little bit. A lot happened, but Dana was off screen. What did Dana do during that time? You had this overwhelming emotion that you needed to see Kiona.
Yeah, and it's just like when we get back to me, it's just like getting up to my quarters, and as soon as the doors are open, like looking around frantically for her.
She's at her desk writing.
Uh,
She looks up at you. What? Hi.
Hi.
Aren't you?
And look around the room. Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's a little chilly, but I just put on a sweater and I'm just working on my novel.
Oh. So there's no. You didn't
Did you
see
think the Beholder and the Dragon was too much at the same time, or should I have them in different chapters? Should I just do the Beholder as like one encounter and then wait a while and bring in the Dragon?
Honey, sweetie, there wasn't another, you didn't see another captain walking around. There wasn't like a man, sharp haircut, obnoxious grin. You didn't see him by any chance, did you?
No. You okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the stress is just getting to me. But
She walks over to you and tries to give you a hug.
I return it without question.
You feel like much better. So much better. Like your head starts to clear. And as you're in her arms, like, this is the cure to your worries. Everything's gonna be okay, hopefully. Your panic level goes down.
This is definitely one of those situations where a physician should heal thyself. I am clearly under entirely too much strain, because I just instantly feel better being around you. Which, I mean, yeah, you have that effect on me, but like, I should be on the bridge right now. What am I doing?
Yeah, you should. We're in space.
Yeah,
you're in charge.
That's what they tell me. That's what these mean right here. Is that I'm in charge. This is.
What's really going on? Why are you doing in here?
I don't know. I was just on the bridge, and I felt like I needed to be here. Like, it was almost not a panic attack, but like.
I do not know.
And then I mean.
Have panic attacks.
Dana has like training as a psychologist and a counselor that Fox the player does not have, but would basically then very clearly and cleanly explain in clinical terms, like, yeah, I had a strange panic and an extreme need to be down here, and then here I was. And that's extremely uncharacteristic for Dana. She does not experience these sorts of panic attacks.
And that's what
dealt with people who do, but she never has.
Yeah, she's acknowledging the same reality.
So Dana's currently trying to self-diagnose what just happened, basically.
Okay, what do you need?
I mean, am I feeling better, like, as a character then? Like, because I feel like I look at her then...
You're feeling better in her presence.
I think what I need is to get my ass back up on the bridge before I completely terrify my entire senior staff.
You should do that.
So, if you're safe down here, and I don't know what is up with the environmental systems right now. It's freezing in here.
Honey, I'm on your ship. I'm as safe as you make me. I'm not going to be safer in some other place.
I put my hand on her shoulder. That's terrifying. Why do you always do this to me?
I'm a writer.
You really are. I give her a kiss, and it's just like, I'll be back. I'm sorry to scare you. We'll have to talk about this later. I'm still on duty.
It's fine. Anytime, honey. And she pats you on the butt.
I mean, we're in the privacy of our own quarters, so it's just... I make a noise, and then I leave the quarters.
Let me check the sound effects list for that noise that you made. You leave the quarters, and you don't feel so good. You feel like you need to be with her.
Okay.
Compulsion.
Just bring her with you.
Dear, could you come with me for a second, actually?
Sure, yes. What are we doing?
I just need you to accompany me to the bridge for just like... Could you just come with me for 2 minutes? It's no big deal.
Is this a field commission? Am I going to be like a lieutenant or something?
No, absolutely not. I am not giving you a field commission. I am not trusting you with command under any circumstances. But I love you dearly, and I do need you just follow me to the bridge for a minute. It'll be a fun little excursion for us.
Okay, yeah, super fun on the bridge. Great.
Just bring your pad, and I just really need you for a second.
I don't know, I'll just sit in the back with the science people.
I'm sure Dr. Dale would appreciate nothing more than your company.
She's so cute.
You know, you're not wrong, but I super can't talk about it that way because I'm her commanding officer.
It's okay. I'll do it for you.
Not fair. Kiona, that's not... We will talk about this as I go into the turbo lift.
Talk on the bridge. She follows you.
Bridge.
Heading back to the bridge, there's a Romulan warbird, and Commander Hagen, you don't feel so good. You feel like something's wrong in your body. It hurts. Your abdomen's starting to hurt.
It's either something I ate or I pissed off that queue. Oh, God.
What's wrong, Commander Hagen?
Bad burrito?
I'd like to scan him.
You scan him. I'm not going to make you roll because you're a doctor. You can see that he is experiencing certain elevated levels that people have when they're in pain.
He's
That's
trying
it.
very hard to maintain like emotional control in his face. And
The pain's
Yes.
getting worse.
Is the captain on the bridge now?
Is the captain on the bridge now? Just trying to think about the timing. Yes, by now the captain comes back on the bridge with her wife. This is not normal for an emergency situation at Yellow Alert. Normally everyone would not be on the bridge
oh, good.
during Yellow Alert.
More people in one room.
Speaking of, like, the moment I step onto the bridge, why are we at Yellow Alert? Situation.
We were just about to get to you, Captain. There, a lot of our power is dying. Lieutenant Roland's trying to assess what's going on, and we need to put some distance between us and that purple thing. And just as we were about to do that, the warp engine died. And then after the warp engine died, this happened, and I point to the warbird.
And Q's standing next to the view screen going like, don't forget about this thing. He's pointing at the Romulan warbird.
Yeah, Commander Kerr, we're going to talk about this whole burying the lead thing you did. Let's start with this Romulan warbird. We're at yellow. Let's not push it to red just yet. Have they hailed us?
No, it literally just happened, and I was about to send for you.
Fantastic. Hagen, open a hailing frequency to that Romulan warbird.
Yes, Captain.
Oh,
Still scanning him.
Lieutenant Commander,
If
are you all right?
nothing's wrong, would it be
Level is getting
totally
extraordinary.
against protocol to just give him a painkiller for the moment?
It probably knocked my ass out.
Not that strong of one. I'll give you like a Tylenol, the child's Tylenol.
Please don't.
The little baby hypo spray. It's like a chewable hypo spray.
Okay, but if you go down on the floor, I'm stabbing you with something.
Probably, yeah.
Doctor, roll your medicine and daring. 2 dice. Unless you want to use a focus or talent or something. Or determination or momentum. These are all things.
My security chief is dying. There's a Romulan warbird.
What does determination do?
Determination is
I
something
use one of my values.
you use one of your values to invoke it, and it can do a few different things. The most common one is to give yourself a critical success, an additional die that's already rolled a 1.
I would love to do that. I'll invoke my
Which value?
value, computers diagnose, doctors care. Because I care
Love.
very much that Hagen is okay in this moment.
Okay, so you lose 1 point of determination. Did you
Mhm.
have an extra one? Somebody bought some determination for somebody. Did they?
I
did they-
don't know if I got one. It wasn't specifically stated.
I don't think they were.
Yeah,
I
we never
don't
got a
think they
message
were
on
told.
who it was for, so it just kind of... It was a great
Okay,
donation.
so-
Thank you so much, but it never got, like, assigned to a player. So.
Never got assigned. So let's assign it to somebody. So, Doctor, you take one of those. Was there a second one? I lost track.
I think
There might have-
There were 2 of those, yeah.
There were 2 of those.
that
So
I
someone else
didn't
right
hear.
now, take the other one. Who wants it? For later.
Captain.
Captain,
Yeah,
you got
Captain.
Awesome.
All right.
Because you can
Uh,
give it to us, right?
it.
Yeah, so we give it to you.
So, Doctor,
yeah,
you
that's
used
something I
your
think I could
determination.
do.
You still
Yes.
have 1 because of a generous donation from chat.
And I have a second success.
The difficulty is 1.
Okay.
So you have a second success. You bank 1 momentum because you only needed 1 success.
And
Okay.
isn't it auto crit?
Does the crit count as 2?
The crit counts as, thank you. So you bank 2 successes.
Okay.
And Lieutenant Hagen, you feel not as in pain.
That helped, thank you. But I don't know why this is happening.
But it's not good.
I'm guessing it has to do something with that star. Just try to hang in there.
Or him.
What the hell are you doing on my bridge?
I'm just here to watch. It's so fascinating. You haven't even started looking at the star yet. You're still quibbling about how cold it is. It's wonderful.
Well, if you can do something about it, do it.
Oh, I'm not getting involved. I'm here as a scientific observer, just like
You're
yourself.
taking our time, and that is interfering.
Well, you're right. He puts his hands behind his back again. And he says, "Take me away, sir."
No, I'm good. No. I'm gonna pull out a piece of like a big post-it note. Right, big boy chair for observing incident. Stick it to a chair and be like, "Someone shove that out of an airlock and give him a place to sit." God.
I like you.
I don't like you.
By this time, Tobin would have gone back to the science officers to try to figure out what's going on with that, since Dr. Dell seems to be busy doing something else.
Okay, so Chief Rulon, what are you doing specifically? You're trying to do...
I'm going to talk with the science officers and see if we can figure out why this could be causing a frequency that will lower our power.
Okay. Are you asking Dr. Dale to accompany you, or do you...
I would like to, but it seemed like she was busy with...
You can call her at any time, even
Okay.
if she, as soon as she finishes administering...
Yeah,
her
I'll
potion.
join her after.
Yeah, and I probably would help Dr. Dale with this, because it seems like this is more up her alley than mine.
Yeah, as soon as I'm finished with Hagen and give him a little pat on the shoulder.
Are
and
you
think
leaving the
warm
bridge
thoughts.
to go to engineering, or are you staying at a science station on the bridge? There are many stations on the bridge.
So long as
Want.
it wouldn't impede our working together, I will stay on the bridge. But if Lieutenant Rulon wants me,
Well, I'm going to need to go to engineering to try to figure out how to fix the warp drive anyway, so I would like to do that. I just want to make sure the science thing is being taken care of.
Just real quick, I want to shout out that I think we got rated by like 3 channels while all of this was going on. Hey, thank you so
Wow.
much.
Thank you for the
everyone,
raids.
Unmade Gaming was the
twice.
most recent of those. I saw
All
some
3
of
of
the
them
raids
was
in there.
Unmade Gaming.
Okay. Was it? Well, regardless,
Oh, I
thank
see
you so
that.
much for all of the amazing, wonderful 3 people, the people that came in. Fantastic. Welcome. Just a quick heads up. We're trying to raise money here for Rice's Texas. We've got links down below to get to our Tiltify. There's information in the chat. They're lighting it up over there. They'll hook you up. Thank you so much.
Is the thing for the Star Trek? Oh, I think I got it. I did the bang track, and it seems like it worked.
No, it's Tribble.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Tribble? Okay.
Triple.
yeah, I
probably
would love to start the extended science task with.
So I'm
Rulon.
going to make sure you're doing that, and then I'm going to head back down to engineering to see if I can figure out what's going on with the warp drive.
So you're
Okay,
asking
yeah, that's
Dr.
fine.
to do that herself. You're not participating in it.
Mm-mm.
That's fine.
Okay. So, Doctor, what are you doing?
I
The scientific method thing?
yes.
There's rules for running the scientific method in Star Trek Adventures. Meanwhile, there's still a Romulan warbird to deal with, but we have a lot of things happening at the same time, so we're going to cut back and forth.
Yeah.
But once this starts, this will take a lot of game time and not a lot of player time, the scientific method process. So let's start it. So you're trying to, what are you trying to do?
Help me out, Rulon. I am
You're trying to see what type of signal it is and how we could
right. How to block it?
combat it. Mhm.
Okay. Yep. I want to figure out what the signal is and how to block it from the ship.
Okay, figure out.
Potentially from everything, if that's
Yeah, how to block
possible. But the ship is the priority.
All right, so let's talk about the scientific method rules of Star Trek Adventures. So there's 3 steps in this, and it is it will be an extended task, which is its own subsystem of the game. But the scientific method part is that you choose the most relevant discipline, either engineering, science, or medicine, and the character with the highest value in that area is the research lead. That's step one. And I think in this case, you're determining that it's science. It might be engineering if you're trying to focus on how to block the thing. But if you're trying to figure out what it is, then it could be science.
I think well, my science is higher, so.
Can she focus on science and I focus on engineering?
Well,
I
you
didn't
could
think that would be
focus on
helpful.
you can't do it at the same time because you don't have the information to build anything yet.
Okay, then I'll let her do it first. Yeah.
So now you can, so doctor, using science, step 2 is hypothesize. And this is where you brainstorm ideas with your team. And this doesn't have to be all you as a player. You can bring in the supporting character to help you do the science, but also other players can offer hypotheses. And so this is the part where people start guessing. What are the possible explanations of what you're trying to do? And you will pick 3 to 5 of those guesses, and you will start testing to see whether they're correct or not.
Okay.
So the question is, rephrase the question again. What is the question? Science question.
How can we block this signal from interfering with the ship?
Well, I mean, my first thought there is, like, can we send out a counter signal of some sort?
Modulate the shields.
Before we get into how to block it, I'm going to...
What is it, right?
You need to know what is it.
So you're doing the what is it, and then I'm going to do a how do we block it.
Okay.
Yeah. And you might find out how to block it once you know what it is.
Right.
But it's something that the probe didn't tell you, and that your initial information didn't answer fully. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so what is the signal?
It's not a weird star, it's some kind of life. We're dealing with something that we don't understand as life, but definitely exists as such. It's some kind of organic entity that we haven't figured out yet.
It's an anti-sun, like literally the opposite of a star, like an anti-star or something.
Could be located out of phase.
So 3 hypotheses so far. It's a living thing, it's an anti-sun, or it's out of phase. Any other hypotheses for what the signal is that's messing with the ship?
Q. It's always Q.
It's Q.
Never cute. But it's always cute, but it's never cute.
It's a matte painting that we got the guys over in production to come up with. No.
Oh, it's a wormhole or a void or something.
A wormhole or void.
Yeah, perhaps like some kind of like tear in space-time to another dimensional sort of space, kind of like how 8472 comes from that weird fluid space or fluidic space or whatever. Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah.
Leaking through from another dimension.
The captain did mention a space-time flux.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey thing.
Could it be created? Some kind of weapon or...
You know, there are Romulans here. This could be the after effects of some kind of Romulan super weapon.
They do like their super weapons.
Who doesn't?
So, any more?
That's all I got.
Okay, do you have those? Do you have that list? Let me tell you, before you choose, let me tell you what the next step will be. So the third step of the scientific method is testing. And that's where there will be a certain number of successes that you need, which you won't know right away. And then people who have 2 or more in the relevant discipline can be assistants to speed up, to help with the work, to make it more successful. And the hypothesis section. We're still in the hypothesis section. One of the hypotheses may be correct. So you're going to choose 3 to 5 of them, and then if all of them are wrong, then I will gain a point of threat and tell you they're all wrong, and you will have time. If one of them is correct, I will say one of those is correct, and then you'll have to start testing each one in your chosen priority order. So choosing more hypotheses means you're more likely to get it on the list, choosing fewer means if it's correct, you will have fewer to deal with to try to get through. So knowing that, from that list of hypotheses, which 3 to 5 would you like to test or begin hypothesizing?
I would like to test everything except it's a weapon.
So the five are?
I had 5 total, unless dimensional space / Terran space counts as 2.
And the question you're asking is, what is the nature? What was the question?
What is the signal? I don't know if that's the same question as what is the sun itself.
It's not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to focus more on what is the signal and less about what is the sun, then you can ask for more hypotheses.
Yeah. If it's a life form, I'm guessing this signal may be
It's communication.
Yeah.
That or it's its waste product.
We're looking at giant poop.
Oh, we're feeling the after effects of wibbly space poop.
Or it's feeding.
Or,
Ooh.
counterpoint, it could be eating us. It does seem to like to eat heat.
Both could be true.
It's a heat eater.
So it could be a form of communication. It could be
And if you're asking about the signal,
yeah.
that's a different question than what is the star.
Yeah. There specifically
You already have evidence that the signal's coming from the star.
Right.
But if you ask for a signal about something, it's not the same as what is the thing that's sending it.
So I guess the question is, are we asking about the signal or are we asking about what is the star? Right?
That is one of the questions, yeah.
Okay, so then let's just pick one of those two.
Mhm.
The signal or the star.
We're trying to block the signal. However, we already have hypotheses about what is the sun.
Let's do that.
Okay.
There you go, perfect. Let's move ahead like that.
Let's study what is the sun. So we have a life form, an anti-sun. It's something out of phase, or it's some kind of Terran space.
Okay, so you're using those 4 hypotheses to begin your inquiry?
I believe so, unless somebody else thinks that another one should be on the list.
And the question for your study is, what is this star?
Yes.
No other suggestions are forthcoming, so those will be your 4. And I'll tell you that the answer is on that list. One of those is correct.
Awesome. Okay.
So
I will
you can
begin testing
proceed
this.
spending game time testing.
Okay.
To test you, I'm going to choose a number of successes that you need secretly, and people with 2 or more science can be assistants.
Okay.
And that includes the supporting scientist, the supporting character who is a scientist.
Well,
Okay.
so here's where it gets weird. I'm on the bridge, and ostensibly, once ever I get back to being active, I'm going to be dealing with the Romulans, but I do have a science of 3.
Do you want to spend your time talking to Romulans, or do you want to spend your time studying science?
1000% want to talk to these Romulans.
I have a
So-
2.
I have a 2 as well.
Okay. We also have a bunch of support characters.
Yeah.
Ensign Weisha has a 4.
Oh, yeah, that.
Umar can't help.
Well, how many people can assist? Just one or?
Multiple.
Oh, okay. Then we can all assist.
Anak, our female Vulcan, has a 2 in science. So we have 2 support characters that could assist also.
Mm-hmm.
All
But I
right.
think whoever can help should help. Although I will choose to probably be by the captain's side, talking to the Romulans.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So the research lead is Dr. Dale, and the science team is the 2 of the supporting characters, and who have science of 2 or more.
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to pull them off whatever they're currently working on for ship safety and etc. And then is Chief Rulon also participating in this study, or
Yeah,
working
because I feel like if we want to block it, we need to know what it was. So I'd be helping figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me 1 second to put something together. Okay. So now choose one of your hypotheses that you want to prove or disprove first as a team.
It's alive.
Yeah, let's go with life form.
Life form.
Mhm.
So trying to test whether it's a life form. And each task that you perform, you'll be performing as normal, two dice plus any that you spend from determination or momentum or talents. Focuses still apply if you roll below. If you're using a focus, I don't know that you have any focuses that apply to this. Do you?
I have biology. If we're testing if it's a life form, though.
Yeah, it's biology generally refers to biology that you're familiar with.
Yeah. So no.
Trying to figure out new types of life.
Right.
That are strange types, and the time that it's going to take for each task, because there's a lot going on right now, and this can't take all day. Not just in the real world, but in the game world, you got trouble. So it's going to take a certain number of each task is going to take 2 intervals. The intervals are 15 minutes in the game. Okay. And the reason it's 2 intervals is because you can use momentum to cut that down to 1 interval.
How many momentum do we have right now? Are we out?
1.
We have 1.
Okay.
So if we spend 1, we can cut it down to 1.
You can also build momentum by rolling extra successes on things.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go ahead and spend my other determination.
What value are you using to spend it?
Careful curiosity.
Ooh, very good. So you'll have
totally ignoring the whole Romulan thing.
Yeah.
Trusting that they got it under control.
Yeah, and just to point it out to the audience, Dr. Dale here is half Romulan. This is quite unusual for a Federation officer to be half Romulan.
Awkward.
And there's Romulan here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to go do some science because there's also this sun thing. So you'll get one die that rolls a 1 automatically for using your determination, because you're real determined to figure out this thing.
Yep.
Curious about this.
I need it.
And then each of the supporting characters will get 1 die, and Chief Rulon will get 1 die, and the rating is going to be your reason science.
Okay.
Science.
Sweet, I got another 1.
Nice.
You're
So
not
you
one.
you have at least 4 successes so far.
Yeah, I have, and then my other die was also a success.
I have a success.
Yes, so that's
6.
6 total.
So you have 6 successes. The difficulty was 3, so you bank 3 momentum.
Awesome.
Let's spend one of those.
Hold on, did anyone roll for the supporting characters who were on this team?
No,
No.
I don't know their rating, but
I have them pulled up.
okay. 7.
That should be
Yes,
fun.
That
absolutely.
is almost certainly
1.
good.
And
And-
now
Who's the other one? Support.
A knock.
I'll roll. I rolled an 8 on the die.
Yes, that does it.
Okay.
It was
So
because it was reason science.
2 additional momentum.
Okay, yeah, because his total's a 9.
Bring us at 5 total, I believe. Sounds
Yes.
good. Yes.
Okay. Real quick,
Moving on.
I need to cut in here.
Yeah.
So is
Break
that
time.
all of our dice rolling for this particular roll here? Because we're about to go to break, and I don't want to cut us like mid. Once we've got all our successes, is kind of where I want to stop us real quick.
The only thing I want to mention before we go to break is that you get Dr. Dale and Dr. Rulon simultaneously while you're working on this initial project. You get an alert from sickbay. It's the EMH, and he says, "Can someone please figure out why I'm with child." And now we can go to break.
And commercial happens. Although everybody turns to
That
each other.
sounds like a you problem.
There's that rising strings, and then it fades to black, and a Nissan commercial comes up. We're gonna go and take a short, like 10-15 minute break. This is also the point in the stream where I do two things. One, I remind you that we are here to raise money for Raíces Texas, an incredible charity organization operating down here in my own state of Texas to help immigrants, people coming across the border, people who are undocumented, basically find legal help to deal with the fact that, jackbooted thugs and the employer of our government are making their lives fucking miserable. You guys have been absolutely killing it with these donations. I am utterly blown away at the fact that we have currently raised $2,589.26, which is bohankers how much money that is. I'm so proud of you. We're over halfway to our goal. We have 22 hours left to go on this stream. Y'all are knocking it out of the just ding dang park. I love it. I love the energy we've been seeing in the chat. It makes me feel really happy. So I'm gonna try and return the favor a little bit. We're gonna run ourselves a little contest. I've got some cool stuff to give away. Specifically for this giveaway, we've got a $25 digital prize pack from the good people at Evil Hat. Thank you so much for that. A $40 gift certificate for the Modifius store. Hey, if you like Star Trek Adventures, if you're kind of into what you're seeing here, maybe you can go get yourself a copy of that with these. It says $40 gift certificate. It's $20, but you know how math works. You're into science. And finally, the third thing we're giving away is a Shadows over Drift Chapel PDF from Absolute Tabletop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this button here, and what you're going to do if you want to get in on this is go over to the chat, type !purple Q, and that'll get you entered into the giveaway. It's going to run for about 10 minutes, then we're going to pick some winners, come back, and give away a whole bunch of rad stuff. I hope you all will join us. Get up, go, stretch, complain about Q, make funny jokes about, Klingons and toilets and stuff. It's great. We love Star Trek, so we will be back in just about 10-15 minutes. See you then.
Immigration has become the defining challenge of our generation. Communities are under attack because our U.S. policies are pushing people into the shadows. How we respond to this challenge will determine how we are remembered and who we are. That is why Raíces exists.
Raíces is a nonprofit organization that offers legal services to the immigrant community.
The vast majority of our clients have zero resources, and we try to help them pro bono.
We work with people who no one else will work with. We work with people who are in detention, women, children. We work with people who've been detained at the border.
We work with families who are intact. We work with families who've been separated. We work with people whose families have rejected them because they might be transgender. We work with people who come from war zones whose families have all been killed. We try and take every case, and when we do, we see it through until the end.
I look at our clients and I see my own family. I am the product of an immigrant family's journey.
Many of us that work for this organization are immigrants ourselves.
I'm a former refugee from Iraq. I came in 2010. My clients have the same story as mine.
My grandpa was an immigrant from Cuba, and really when I look at my clients, I think of him and I think of the rest of my family.
As someone who came to this country undocumented, I feel privileged and honored that I'm able to do this.
We believe that the Constitution extends to all people in the United States, including immigrants.
We believe that everyone has a right to due process.
We believe that no person is illegal.
We believe that refugees are supposed to be in the United States.
I mean, we believe that families should remain intact, and there's no reason to separate them at the border as punishment.
We're committed to people. We're not committed to parties. We're committed to the people.
We believe that we're all human beings and we deserve to be treated well.
Raíces was founded in 1986 and born from the sanctuary movement. which itself was a response to immigration policies in the early 80s that really made it impossible for Central American refugees to seek protection here in the United States.
It was a two-person office to begin with. We didn't have air conditioning or heat. We were distributing food, clothing, had medical care. We weren't doing visa work until probably around 2000.
When I started at Raíces almost 20 years ago, we were only 3 people, okay? 1 attorney, another legal assistant, and myself.
We've been here for a long time, and yes, we've met each crisis as it's come.
We just need to keep growing and growing because there is a lot of people out there that needs our help.
We have a family detention program. We prepare people for their credible fear interviews.
We're in the detention centers every day, talking to our clients, hearing their stories.
We have a children's program. We provide legal presentations for the children's rights.
Children need representation while they're still in detention. Otherwise, they would go to court alone.
We have community immigration services, which can range from renewing an application for DACA to applying for citizenship to applying for a visa on behalf of a crime victim.
We have a refugee resettlement program.
We help them to adjust into this country. We help them with housing and food and medical.
But also when they move to other cities in this country and need continuing services.
It's really about creating those partnerships with the community to make sure that our new community members feel welcome and safe and protected.
Last year I was almost deported, and Raíces came in, and without knowing anything about me, they helped me, and I don't think I would be there if Raíces hadn't helped.
I hope that one day our clients can be able to walk out on the street without a fear in their hearts. I want to be able to have a country where we can welcome asylum-seeking families in a system that isn't designed for them to fail.
They're a grassroots kind of organization that helps the community at the most basic level. They went out of their way to help me, and because of them, I'm able to keep going to school. I'm able to keep the life that my dad brought me here to build.
When you work at Raíces, you actually get to witness our nation being born anew. Every time we work with a client, you're literally watching the beginning moments of one of those stories that we hear about. We talk about our forefathers. We actually work with people who will be the mothers and fathers of the future generation of Americans.
The most patriotic people that I've ever met are new immigrants. The most ambitious people, the most qualified people. These are the best people that their countries are sending. Why? Why would you want to close the door on that?
We've been doing this work for more than 30 years. We were here before. We're here now, and we're not going anywhere.
welcome back. Hooray, everyone. We've been at Yellow Alert so long, I kind of just want to take us down from Yellow Alert just briefly. Because, like, shout-outs, by the way, to some really cool guy named Joe Sondow for giving us this extremely badass LCARS overlay for the stream. There's a little button, I can touch these buttons over here, boop, 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 and nothing happens.
I went a little overboard.
You went fantastically.
And I want to thank Throck for letting me use it.
But yes, technically we're at Yellow Alert, so boop, there I've got us back at Yellow Alert status. But I wanted people to actually get a chance to see at the top of this half just how cool this overlay is. But you know what else is really cool? Raíces Texas. They're an amazing organization here in Texas that does a lot of pro bono legal work for like immigrants and undocumented people. They come across the border, they have less than nothing, and our government's response to that is we should probably split up their families and put them into camps. And we think that's bullshit. So that's why we're here, to raise a bunch of money to help, build that brighter, better Star Trek future and help them out to continue to do this incredible, dare I even say, vital work, especially with everything that's going on right now. This country, y'all. So, donate big, donate weird numbers, because I hate seeing .00 at the end of that thing. We are currently at $2,639.26, over halfway through our goal with 21 hours left in the stream. Y'all are the best, and I know you can give even more. But first, I'm gonna give you some stuff, and don't worry, it's not a piece of my mind. It is actually a bunch of cool prizes. So we've closed our giveaway. Prizes! So our first prizes is going to be the $25 digital prize pack from Evil Hat, and that is going to be going to Ulfrig. Congratulations! I will be. If you can make some noise in the chat so I can easily find you, I'll be sending you a message from the Welcome Party RPG account, and we'll get that to you. Sorry, apologies. The prize support sheet is fighting me. Our second prize is the $40 Modifius gift certificate. That's for the Modifius online store. That is going to Rain Dust Plays. Congratulations! You're getting $40 worth of Modifius gift certificate stuff. It's actually going to be 2 codes that I'm going to be sending you here in a little bit. Again, make some noise in the chat so I can find you, and let me know that you're here so I can give you super cool stuff.
I want to give you jingles when you do this.
You know what? Feel free to give me rad jingles. I love it. I love all the jingles. Jingle me.
Jiggle.
Ooh, that one was nice. I like that. It's got like an ASMR like stereo thing on that one.
I'm upset that I'm not hearing them now, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Hey, we've been experiencing technical difficulties on this ship.
Audio problems? Yes, that's right. Audio to my headphones.
Our final winner for the Shadows over Drift Chapel PDF by Absolute Tabletop is going to. Let me click the button and not. I'm gonna say that spiel it out. Twitch usernames, y'all. I don't know how to pronounce them, but it'll announce in the chat. Spell it out. If you could, make some noise in the chat. Let me know where you are, find you, and I will be getting in contact with you about what information we need. Yeah, that's you. To get that PDF over to you. And without any further ado, please, Joe the Amazing, do take it away.
I just think I figured out how to fix my speakers, and I can now hear things. That's great. So where were we? So the EMH just called Chief Ruan and Dr. Dale to report.
I think something might be up with your microphone. You sound very different now.
Darn, almost had it right.
Oh no.
Get that right. So that changed, and I did the wrong thing to this thing. Sorry.
Can you put Joe in a wind tunnel?
Yeah, I think I'm out of the wind tunnel now. Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine. So now, you just had a report from the emergency medical hologram that he is, as he put it, with child. And Dr. Dale's immediate response was, I believe, that's a you problem.
We have 9 months to worry about that. So we're going to focus on this purple sun for right now.
How is that
what
possible?
You say?
There's a child down there?
He's. Did you say that to him?
Are you going into labor at the moment?
Doctor, it's a hologram.
Based on my morphology, I would guesstimate that I am in my 3rd trimester, and this thing could pop at any time.
Well,
I wonder if someone could check my matrix to see if if someone's playing a prank. This has never been part of my program.
I will get someone on that right away. Stand by, please.
That's what happens when you cut funding for sex ed programming.
That's too real.
I'm proud of myself for that.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
So you say that to him. What do you do?
I am going to assess my options.
Chief Rulon is currently trying to work with you on a science problem.
Yeah.
When the holographic doctor needs help, Chief Rulon is normally the person who would fix him.
Yes. Would that be a medicine or an engineering test?
Very much an engineering test.
Okay. All right.
You
Good.
can try to use medicine if you think his body is acting like a humanoid body today.
Why don't we
It depends what you want to do.
why don't we get either Lieutenant Anok or Ensign Umar on that?
I'll talk to Umar.
Thank you.
Okay.
Lieutenant Rulon Umar, Ensign Umar.
Umar here.
How are you doing down there?
Things seem to be going poorly.
Yes, we're working on that and trying to figure out how to assess that problem. The EMH seems to have gotten pregnant.
So we're gonna have another EMH?
I don't know, but it's freaking out. So just keep an eye on it. I don't think we can fix it right now.
Why don't we just turn it off?
Oh, we can turn it off.
I mean, does it care? I'm sorry, does he care? I don't know how it works.
I don't really. Yeah.
I mean, I know how it works. I just don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, same. Let me
Do
ask.
you want me to go work on that? Because I got, I'm kind of like spinning some plates.
No, let me ask the doctor if we can just turn him off.
Okay.
Why don't we deal with the signal first, and then we can deal with the pregnancy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Turn him off.
Dr. Dale of the EMH.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with shutting down for just a hot second?
I think that would be fine.
Okay. I will get to you as soon as possible. We're experiencing some trouble.
Yeah, I don't have authority to shut myself off. I'm here because you're not in sick bay. Did you want to send someone to do that?
Yeah, is anyone there in sickbay with you?
No.
I will send someone right away. Tail out.
Can't we just remote shut him off, or do we have to go there and shut him off? Yeah. I just told
you can tell the computer to shut him off.
I'll do that. I just wanted to get his permission first. I didn't want to be rude.
He's not.
God, that is
he's
such a sweet
Dr. Dale.
He's a doctor.
He's not
She's a doctor, not an engineer.
a person.
We have a thing out.
But he's not. So just turn him off.
I'm turning him off.
Can I hailing frequency the Romulans?
Yes. I still want to pause that and just get this science thing started that was interrupted by the doctor. So
we got 8 successes.
You got 8 successes?
Yes.
So that is successful, and so therefore you roll effect dice, and you roll
awesome
to see how much stuff you get done.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so it's an extended task, and I'm going to come back to that, and we're going to talk to some Romulans because I'm a little bit fuzzy on it. So, Commander Hagen, you have hailed the Romulans. The Romulans respond to your hail and come on screen. And you see the interior of a Romulan ship on the view screen. There is a Romulan woman sitting in a chair. There is a Cardassian sitting in another chair nearby, and a second Romulan sitting on the other side.
This is Captain Dana Locke.
You hear a slight hiss from me as you go talk.
Easy, Commander. This is Captain Dana Locke of the USS Indra. Please identify yourself and state your intentions on this side of the neutral zone.
Hello, Commander Dana Locke. I'm Commander Votro of the IRW Picasia. And I am not on the wrong side of the neutral zone. The barrier of Federation space is the star, the yellow star in front of us, and I am on the far side of it. It's you who have entered the neutral zone.
Quick out of character question: is that actually the case? Did we screw this up?
This is like a point of contention. How do you mark barriers in space?
Got it.
And when you're on the border of something, it's like you can argue a bunch of nonsense about like, no, it's this star. No, you have to be on this side based on this angle. Like you're just so close to the border that it's a matter of opinion.
Okay,
there aren't very good landmarks for it.
Wanted to make sure I understood the
You're in the blurry area between Federation space and the neutral zone. What I would like to know from you is why you are developing a weapon of such magnitude during a time when we should be working together to fight the threat that we know poses both of us from the Gamma Quadrant.
I presume you're speaking of the recent reports of the Dominion that were discovered over on DS9.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm. I resent the implication that the Federation is in the business of developing weapons. We are here investigating a spatial phenomenon, and the interference it's causing to a completely legal Federation.
I know. I know. Listen, it's clear when we see something like this, something that just pops up out of nowhere next to a Federation colony, you're going to say this was just an accident. We didn't mean to create some sort of a power-draining star that has powers that...
power-draining star.
No.
We found it.
You will not interrupt my captain.
I'm sorry?
It is captain, by the way, not commander. 4 pips.
The Cardassian sitting on the side mutters audibly. The microphone picks it up. It's just a Bajoran.
My eyes just narrow and there's like a slight hiss, like...
At ease, Commander. Regardless, what are your intentions in this sector?
We intend to partake of the same scientific research as yourselves to harness whatever power this natural phenomenon, as I suppose you will say, is producing. It seems very plausible that you are telling the truth, and that we should have nothing to fear from each other, and we only want to collect samples to see how this weapon can be applied to our common enemy.
I'm sensing sarcasm? It's hard to say over comms.
I kind of turn myself away slightly from the view screen to look at Hagen.
Can I sense anything?
Roll to sense. Roll your
What would you
and are you broadcasting that you're doing this, or is this subtle?
This is me looking for more like empathy and body language.
But you're not making a show of like, I'm reading your mind, so she doesn't have to try to hide anything. She doesn't have to.
No, I'm not going for like facts. I'm just going for intention.
So roll your insight and security.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a momentum because we have so many. At the moment, they will go
You're gonna
fast.
Give yourself an extra die.
To give myself an extra die. All right. So, I have a focus and empathy.
The difficulty is 1.
Okay, so I have a security is 5, insight is 10. I rolled a 13 and a 7, and a 2, which is under.
The 2 is underneath your focus number, underneath your security number.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 successes. That's a critical. Gesundheit. And
stop minding.
And so your total. So what were your totals? What were your number of successes?
4.
4
yeah.
successes.
Yes.
So you needed 1. So you bank 3 momentum.
We're at 6, which is the max.
Yep. I'm allowing us to go above the max for donations. So when some of the momentum came from chat, we can just exceed the maximum of 6.
Gotcha.
Thanks,
We're
chat.
special.
I'm about to spend some, I think.
So what you feel coming off of this Romulan commander is absolute sarcasm.
That's okay.
This is she loathes you as a group, and believes that you're lying and that you are plotting against her.
Captain, the immense sarcasm should have been noticed by everybody.
Is this have you cut audio? Are you saying this out loud?
So yeah, my intent was to just sort of like glance back at Hagen and see, just to get like a very quick kind of like a So yeah, we'll talk in a moment then. I turn back to face the view screen. Well, I'm glad that you have peaceful intentions for your time here. We are going to also continue our survey of the phenomenon. If we can render aid in any way, please let us know. Indra out. And I'd look back at Hagen and go,
Wait.
Just to cut off comms. Like, I don't want to talk to them.
I hope it doesn't kill them. Well, actually, I hope it doesn't kill them, but
I know that you hope it kills them, Hagen.
No, I don't actually.
What if we just gave it to them and they took it away? That solve all of our problems?
I don't
We have
think
to solve our problems.
Okay.
But if they actually find a weaponized use of it, that would also be bad.
True.
They are hailing you.
Oh my god.
Let them wait. Hagen, are there weapon systems online?
What was the question?
Sorry, we just
Weapons status.
Are there weapon systems online? Yeah.
There's no. I didn't pick up anything.
You didn't check, did you?
I didn't check.
Can I scan while that was happening?
Yes.
Or we can
you
scan now, either way. Like,
Yeah, you can use the ship sensors. Let's see, the ship's sensors plus security, and as one extra die, or someone can roll for the ship. Who would like to roll for the ship?
I'll roll for the ship.
I haven't rolled any dice at all.
Go for it.
But
Let the captain roll. And
I have rolled
you
no
roll for the
dice.
ship.
I would, how many dice am I rolling?
You're rolling 1 die.
1 die. I'm gonna roll
And
my red one.
Commander Care, roll 2 dice or more if you have special ability or want to use momentum or determination.
Helm operations, would that?
No, this is sensors, which is a different
Okay.
system.
The ship got a 16.
Can I use my reroll for the ship?
Absolutely, you can use your reroll for whatever you want.
Or wait,
but
okay,
the
so
reroll,
the ship rerolls.
hold on, the reroll is any dice you want from a pool. So you can that includes the ship, but also your dice.
I will say, actually, I'm still sitting on a reroll because I forgot I got one way back at the start of the stream. So I'll just burn mine so that we can keep track of yours.
Yeah.
That's a 6.
And
which is much
What
better.
am I rolling?
6 is good. You're rolling 2 dice of, let's see, sensors. So you're gonna do control con.
I don't mind. Control cons are my 2 best.
That's your
stats.
wheelhouse. Yeah. I'm gonna let you use those for sensors. It's probably incorrect, but I don't care. And so roll 2 dice for that.
I'm gonna re-roll one of them and burn my reroll.
Okay.
Okay, so actually I have 2 crits.
2 crits.
Wow.
Wait, 2 ones, or what do you mean?
If it's a focus, I can't use my thing, right?
If it's no, which focus are you using?
Sorry, I got 2 5s, which is under my or just at my con.
Right, but you don't have a focus in sensors. Or do
Okay,
you have
yeah, so they're 2 successes.
So it does. So normally the crit range is just 1.
Oh, then it's 2 successes.
It's 2 successes, and then I think the ship got another success. Is that correct?
Got 1 success, yes.
1 success. And
real quick,
the difficulty.
I need to take care of a prize thing just real quick because one of our people who won, we never heard back. I don't think they're in the chat anymore, so I need to pick a new winner for the Evil Hat prize pack. So congratulations to Acadian Rhythm. If you happen to still be in the chat, please speak up and say something. If you did, I can send you along this code for this $25 digital prize pack from Evil Hat. I think Akkadian Rhythm is how you pronounce that.
Yeah, it is, because I know who that is.
Okay, I have no idea, but if you're still
That's
in the
my
chat,
husband.
oh, okay, go yell at your husband then. Is he still in the
I
chat?
just did.
Okay, fantastic. Because I need to send him, I need to send him a message that he just won some stuff. So hooray! Apologies for the interruption. Please continue.
If you can reach your husband, please do so.
He's in chat.
You can find out his address.
Yeah.
I feel like we can make this happen. I think we can get it to him.
You had 4 successes, right?
3.
3 successes. So bank 2 momentum, and you're scanning their ship, and you see that they are powering up their weapons as we speak.
They're powering up weapons, Captain. Or, sorry.
They're powering up weapons, Captain.
Hagen, they're lying, aren't they?
Yes.
Red alert.
Yeah, they hate us.
Red alert.
Where's the button?
If somebody can hit that button, I'd really super appreciate it.
I got it.
There.
Too many people hit it at once.
Oh no. I won't hit it.
There we go. They still hailing us?
They are still hailing you. And as you are deciding whether to answer them, you all see, clear as day, the star, literally, the purple star is a gigantic solar flare is shooting off the purple star. Like, really big.
Is it headed towards us?
It is.
Of course it is.
I mean, shields are already up, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Doctor, is this going to
brace?
What's going to happen? Do we brace for impact here? What do I expect?
Yeah. Yep. Brace for impact.
Yep.
I will say that solar flares take a while to get from a sun to a planet. Not that this planet is like orbiting the sun, but it's close enough in distance that you could regard it as being similar distance to an orbit. Solar flares are not instantaneous. They're matter. They have to travel at speed, and even light takes several minutes. So,
okay.
Can we move the ship?
It's almost like it has an impulse drive. Just the real quick question was: it's coming at the ship. Is it also coming at the planet?
That
Or is
was
it just coming at the ship.
You're orbiting the planet, so it's coming sort of this way. It's a solar flare. It's not like a bullet. It's all over the place, a swirling mass of energy and light, and
Fantastic.
not heat, but something that's not heat.
Can I sense any emotions from it?
Roll your insight and what did I say before? Roll your insight security. Difficulty is 4.
All right, 15. I'm gonna spend 2 momentum. Empathy is a thing of mine, is a focus. Would that apply?
Yeah.
Okay.
If your hypothesis is correct, then yeah.
Gotcha. All right. I got 2 successes.
So for the record, I do. Once we resolve this, I have a course of action. I was just trying to.
Yeah, this
Things
is
kept coming at me before I
time
could
is
give it.
frozen. Time is frozen while Hagen has experiences.
Yeah, I do not succeed.
You do not sense anything.
Yeah, and
What
I
did
can't.
Captain want to do?
All right, Khan, get us the hell out of the way of this thing. Tubes, is there anything we can do to like protect the planet from this incoming death fireball?
So this is going to impact your whole scientific journey. Getting interrupted with emergencies.
Great. All right, you're down in like the science. You're not even on the bridge anymore, are you?
No, I'm on the bridge.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? I thought you were doing
Oh no, you're right. I am down. Well, but where are we doing science?
in engineering.
Okay, then we're in engineering. Sorry.
You're in engineering. All right.
But you did give one order to Khan, which is Commander Care.
Get us the hell out of here.
Yeah, I have evasive action as an actual.
Would you like to use it?
Yes, please.
roll 2 dice, and more if you have talents or
I have pushed the
momentum or
limit, which
determination.
is I've pushed the limits, which reduces the difficulty, I believe. So when you attempt a contest that has increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions or damage to the engines, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 1.
Well, the engines aren't you're not using warp drive, which is offline, but the impulse engines are not damaged, and you're not in a contest. Oh, a con task.
Yeah.
That has increased in difficulty due to environmental conditions. Yeah, you can use that because there's the whole ship is suffering from extreme cold and mystery outages. So the difficulty to avoid this very large mass of stuff is would normally be 3, but it'll go down to 2.
And I will use momentum. So
To buy a die.
yeah.
Good idea. How much momentum do we have?
We have 3. It'll go down to 2 once I spend it.
Yes, that is true. I didn't remove enough.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Okay, and it is control and con.
Yes, it's control and con. Oh, actually, it's control and con, or it's daring. It can be daring if you want.
I like control.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so 120, but 1 crit because I have evasion action, and so just 1 crit and 1 20.
All right, so this is the opposite of D&D, where here 1s are really good and 20s are really bad. So the 1 gives you 2 successes, and the 20 is not only a lack of a success, but also a complication, which I can take it either in the form of a point of threat for later, or something that happens now. And because my brain is full of story things, I do open up the brainstorming of what complications would apply in the situation to the group. Not that it helps you to give yourself something terrible, but if you give me a reasonable complication, I'll probably apply it.
It
Something
also hits the Romulan ship.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Complication has to be something that's purely detrimental to you.
Maybe the impulse engines aren't fully are fast enough, or something of that sort. I
mean, the interference from it could screw with communications between us, the colony, and or the Romulans.
There you go. Perfectly good. So you succeed because you needed 2 successes and you got them. So evasive actions, you dart out of the way as so like there's the light coming towards you is a few minutes away. So this thing is actually like a few minutes old, what you're seeing. But also the matter coming towards you moves even slower than the light. So you do have a little bit of time to get out of the way. Not a lot because you weren't really prepared for it. But the Romulan ship also is trying to get out of the way. And as Fox suggested, the complication is that you are now positioned in such a way that communication with the Romulan ship and communication with the planet is obstructed, as this mass of swirling, beautiful but terrifying purple energy rockets toward you and past you, and coalesces into a vaguely spherical shape. This is not what solar flares do. Solar flares
Thank you,
fizz out.
JK He, I believe, for the $25.25 donation. You are an absolute rock star. Thank you for having it be a weird unround number. 25, I believe, is that?
It's a crit.
It's a crit.
Who wants the crit? Who wants to take the crit? Raise your hand quick. Commander Care got it. So bank that crit for later. This mass of purple stuff forms into a sphere and starts to solidify very rapidly. This is not a solar flare. This is something else.
Is the sun still there, or has it literally shifted?
The sun is still there. It looks unchanged at a glance.
Wait, I've seen this happen before. This happened already.
What do you mean, Captain?
Earlier, when Q was in my quarters, I came onto the bridge. We were at red alert, and there were 2 purple stars. It had subdivided into a second one. This has already
osmosis?
happened. I don't know. No, this thing, it's making another one of itself.
Is
Wait.
that why the EMH is pregnant?
I think so.
Is
I
it
can't
shooting
believe I'm saying
pregnant energy?
I think it just shot a baby at us. Yes, Hagen.
Gross.
And confusing and beautiful and amazing. Birth is a hell of a thing.
Yeah, you kind of okay.
So while you're getting this new series of ideas, Dr. Dale is trying to scientifically analyze the nature of the star at the same time. And you rolled a lot of successes, you banked some momentum, and now you're going to, if I understand the scientific method process correctly, it's an extended task, which has a work track. So it's a number of units of work that you need to do. We're going back in time just a little bit of where you're working on this. And the work track is 8 units, and the magnitude that you need, the number of breakthroughs that you need is 2. And breakthroughs are achieved when you fill the work track or when you get 5 successes at one task. Sorry, not successes. 5 challenge dice points, 5 work, all in one go. So the challenge dice are D6s, and they behave differently than normal D6s would. If you have the special ones from Modiphius, then they tell you exactly what they are on them. But using conventional ones, if you roll a 3 or a 4, oh, you have the special ones? Awesome.
I made them, remember?
You made them? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So two sides are blank. So for those of us using regular D6s in Star Trek Adventures for damage or work, you disregard 3s and 4s. They count as 0. 1 counts as 1, 2 counts as 2, 5 and 6 both count as 1 plus an effect. The effect depends on what kind of circumstance you're doing. For science, the effect is generally nothing unless you have a special talent that lets you use effects for things.
Okay.
So we're rolling 8 of them? Or what are we rolling?
So you're rolling 2 plus the discipline number that you used for the task. And the discipline was your science, which is 4. So you roll 2 plus 4 is 6 dice.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, I don't think I have any talents.
Do you have any rerolls or any, because you have, this rerolls can apply to challenge dice as well.
I don't believe so.
And you can also use, you can burn momentum to do rerolls. I think. To do rerolls? I think so. Let's say yes.
Okay. Do I have to do that before or after?
No, after you roll, you can reroll some if you want to burn momentum.
Awesome.
I might be inventing that rule, but it's fine.
Okay, I have a total of 8 with 2 effects.
Nice. So the effects do nothing unless you have a talent or special thing somewhere that says that you're really good with extended tasks.
If I'm helping with this, does my talent count?
What is your talent?
I have intense scrutiny, so we can ignore up to 2 resistance for every effect rolled if mine counts on an extended task.
Yeah, it counts.
Okay.
Cool.
So the resistance takes away from the amount of work, and it just depends on what's going on and what's in your way. So there are 2 points of resistance because shit's hitting the fan and you're super distracted. This is not easy. You've never seen anything like this, and there's Romulans outside. But you ignore those two, and you fill the work track.
Awesome.
With I said it was 8 units, and you got 8 successes.
Yes.
So you get one breakthrough because you got 5 or more work done in a single task, and you get a second breakthrough because you filled the work track.
Awesome.
So you very efficiently, very quickly run a whole bunch of tests with your incredible crew of scientists.
Yes.
And by the time we catch up with what's happened on the bridge so far, you have tested your hypothesis: is the star alive? Is it a life form? With a definitive yes, that is the correct hypothesis. The star is a life form.
I knew it. That's why I started with that one, because it's Star Trek. Of course it's a life form.
That's why I led with that suggestion. It's like, that thing's alive.
Which a few other people on the bridge figured out when they perceived that it launched something out of itself that's very similar to itself.
As soon as we discover this, I'm gonna just yell it out, no matter what is happening.
Okay,
you're excited.
All of engineering now knows, and no one on the bridge knows.
Okay, right, because we're in engineering.
There is an intercommunication
But if you remember that you have a communicator on your shirt.
Yeah, I forgot that it wasn't on the bridge.
She's new here. This is her first week on the ship.
It is.
Oh dear.
Engineering to Captain Locke.
Captain Locke, go ahead.
We have successfully determined that it is indeed a life form.
Yeah, we had a feeling. Thank you, Doctor. Anything else?
Not yet. We'll keep you updated.
Does this have anything to do with our EMH becoming pregnant?
Is that a question to the bridge, or are you just speaking out loud?
I was asking Dr. Dale.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I think we should just leave him turned off.
Do you think
never
it's gonna
deal
have
with this.
twins?
I only saw one in my vision.
What else did you see in that vision? Do you mind if I look at that vision?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, Captain, may I please have permission to see that vision? You know is a perfectly acceptable answer.
Yeah. We don't have time for this, sure. My thoughts, your thoughts, buddy. Let's go. Let's do this.
You don't get my thoughts. Okay. I very quickly go through that vision. And
there is no Vulcan on the bridge to be offended by this.
No, there might be. Isn't our con officer?
Oh, maybe.
Science officer Vulcan?
But I definitely would not have said anything quite so insensitive, because that would be becoming a Starfleet officer late in her career.
So, keeping in mind that there is an assistant con officer who steps in anytime Commander Care steps away.
Con.
Do
Wait,
you?
They're a Vulcan. They wouldn't be offended. Why would they care?
Do you say that?
I'd say my thoughts to your thoughts. Let's just do this.
Yeah. The Vulcan just looks over their
All right, and I come back out of it. You said this was happening again. Or someone said, oh no, it's happening again.
Oh, is that something that happened in the vision? I don't remember that.
Yes.
So yeah,
Correct?
that was what you heard in the vision was you saw a little purple blob coming off a big purple blob and someone yelling, "It's happening again."
Okay, so that's the one part of the vision that hasn't happened yet. And I look at the rest of the room as if to wait to see if somebody's about to say it.
Pitocin?
I was gonna say that sounds like mitosis or meiosis. It's been a while since I did biology.
We're all a few years out of the academy, Commander.
Commander Care, you are suddenly overcome with a feeling of homesickness. You are from Earth. You were raised by human parents on Earth, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your childhood home comes flooding into your mind, and you wish you were there, and you don't feel comfortable in the place where you are. This is the wrong place to be, and you don't belong here, and you really wish you were back home. And it's very distracting. And part of you recognizes that strange shit's going down, it's probably some kind of thing from outside of you, but it is very real as a feeling, and it is your focus.
Captain, may I be excused, please?
Absolutely not. I need you on the bridge right now. We are at red alert, Commander.
Okay, then I'm taking the ship home, and I start trying to move the ship in the direction of Earth.
Without warp drive.
Without warp drive.
Commander, what the hell are you doing? And I walk over to the con.
You wouldn't excuse me. I wanted to go to the holodeck.
What? No. What is going on in here?
Home. I miss my parents. I miss my home.
Whoa. Okay.
Let me go to the holodeck. I just need to make sure this ship goes there right now.
Okay. Whoa. So I'm gonna reach onto the con and kill the impulse and just tap, because I've got a 2 in con. I just tap the thing that makes stop going. and like come around to like the front of the console, just kind of like crouch down and get like eye level with Kara, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. And
I miss my mommy.
so Captain Locke used to be a counselor.
Would you like to count?
I would love to take a second to talk Kara off of this cliff with something very inspirational that Fox is blanking on because she's trying to run upstream.
Okay. Well then you can use dice instead of words.
I would love to use dice on this. I want to roll something.
So let's see, Fox. You're looking at your character sheet. So
I am.
What do you propose? Probably presence command.
Okay. Yeah. So I was
you
thinking.
are also a commanding officer, but you can use medicine if you feel like.
True, because I was thinking like.
Doctor.
That's the thing. I was thinking like maybe this was like insight and either science or medicine because I wanted to try to lean on my my older psychology training. But you got a good point that I could use presence command to be like, you are a Starfleet officer. Knock it off.
There's like tears running down my eyes at the moment.
You can use presence command. You can use presence command to try to be nice. It's not incompatible with that. Like insight will tell you more about how you should talk to them because they are you may not totally relate to what they're going through, but it's pretty clear what they're feeling.
Actually,
they just said it.
I have got, I've got 2 points of determination kicking around. Remind me, determination basically buys you a die out of 1, right?
Correct, and you have to use one of your values to invoke it.
Fantastic. So I would like to invoke one of my values. Hard truths are a kindness. In order to burn one of those points of determination.
I was really sure you were going to pick never give up on a friend, but you're going the hardcore way.
I love it. I love it so much.
You could have used never give up on a friend. It would have worked fine, but you're going to go for hard truths or a kindness. Suck it up.
There are Romulans.
So that'll give you burn that 1 point of determination, and you get one die that's already rolled a 1.
That just gives me a 1 right there. And then I just roll my other regular 2 d20s.
Yes, unless you have any talents or momentum that you want to burn.
No, because my talents don't. No, they don't really come into this. So I'm just gonna roll these 2.
Difficulty is 3.
I'm gonna look at my talents again.
Commander Care roll. Commander Care's not necessarily fighting you on this calm down routine.
Okay.
No, I am overwhelmed with emotions.
Yeah.
I would like to buy an additional d20 with threat.
Okay.
Because when I do that, because I have bold for command, whenever you attempt a task with command, you may buy 1 or more d20, and you buy 1 or more d20s by adding threat. You may re-roll a single d20.
Awesome.
So, I spent that point of determination. That just gives me that hot 1. I'm buying this additional d20 with a point of threat, and I can re-roll one of them.
Extra threat.
So, and then I don't know that any of my focuses come into this. Like, I've got psychology and Starfleet protocol. Because what I'm about to lean into is, like, I'm about to pull some Picard, like, the first duty of a Starfleet officer kind of shit here, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you make a rousing speech that the player might not be able to think of.
Yeah, so, give me a second. Let's see how this die roll goes.
Do something, yeah.
All right. That's a 15, a 15, and a 15.
Oh!
What was your target again? Doesn't sound good. Oh, it's presence command. 17, yeah. Those are all successes.
Okay. That's
right. Your presence is 12, your command is 5.
Right.
You roll 1 in case you get a 1?
You know what? But I do have a reroll, so screw it. I'll reroll one of the 15s.
Your reroll success could turn into a failure.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Fair point. I'm gonna take what I got in 1 and run. So yes.
Take yes for an answer.
I'm gonna take yes for an answer on that. All right, so I got those 3 successes plus my automatic 1 for my point of determination that I spent.
Yep.
Which was a crit. So is that 4 or 5?
That's 2. That's 2 additional.
That's 5.
So it's 5 successes.
So 5 total successes. So I wrapped around. I needed like 3. Yeah, I said so. So I wrapped around to the front.
Momentum and you may make a speech if you wish.
So I kind of set my hands on the console. Commander Care, you are a Starfleet officer serving aboard a Starfleet vessel. You are not a simpering child sitting on the edge of a refugee camp. You swore an oath to the people of the Federation, to the people of the ship, and to me as your captain. Get it together.
And I just wipe my snot on my sleeve. And I start snapping out of it just a little, or do
Yeah,
I?
You do.
Okay,
You still have the emotion, but you no longer have the impulse to obey it.
I'm
Captain,
sorry. I don't know what came over me.
It's been
I
a
don't
rough
act
day.
this way.
It's been a rough day, Commander. What is it, Lieutenant Commander Hagen?
I think it's shooting feelings at us.
Elaborate.
Before you had a sudden urge of company, and then
I look over at my wife. Oh yeah, you're on the bridge. Hi, honey.
and no,
Doing
do not
great,
restart.
honey. You're doing great.
Sarcastically.
I just kind of turn away from her.
And then another feeling of pregnancy. I don't know if that was a feeling. Sickness, pain. I felt pain. It shot its pain at me, and then after the birth, it wants to go home. It wants to go home.
This thing just wants to leave. Okay, so we just need to figure out why it can't leave and where it wants to go. Bridge to Dr. Dale.
Dale here.
We have some information for you, Doctor. This thing's definitely alive, and we think it's trying to just get home.
Acknowledged. I'll work with Rulon to get that happened.
Give me answers as soon as you can. Bridge out.
Yeah, I want to turn to Rulon and say, you mentioned earlier maybe dragging the star. What if we tried to open some kind of wormhole or something? That would be faster than dragging it if we could just pop it away.
Did you share with me what the captain said to you?
Yeah, sorry. I assumed it was over, like...
Yeah, it was just over... It was over general comms. Like you
Okay, then okay. Then
unless you were far away from the doctor,
No.
you would have heard it coming over her comm badge.
So we got to figure out a way to get it home. We can start working on that. We need to figure out where home is.
Yeah.
Is there a way that they can open up communication? Engineering to the bridge?
Bridge, go ahead.
Is there a way you can open up communication to find out where it needs to go?
I look at Commander Hagen at this point.
Yeah. Like read its mind or something?
Hagen, is that something you think you could do?
Don't know how to get its permission.
We may not have a choice in that regard, Hagen.
I look over at the hailing frequency that was probably just starting to bleep again from the Romulan ship, looking over at them with their weapons primed. And then I think about the people in the getting colder and colder, and then the people on the planet. Like, so this is challenging one of my values.
Which is?
Sanctity of the mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. So there are rules for challenging a value.
Yes.
If you challenge a value, you cross it off from your character sheet, and you get an extra point of determination to use on the thing you're doing that makes it challenged. And then afterward, depending on what happens, you will replace it with a different value. This is how characters evolve emotionally in Star Trek Adventures.
He sighs and says, I'll do what I can for us all.
We'll work on it down here.
And I'll attempt to make telepathic contact with it.
I would like to, actually, before we start doing that, I'm gonna turn back to Kerr and just... Commander, get us closer to that star.
Right away. And I navigate our ship closer.
And I want us to get started on figuring out how to get it home.
Right. So that will be a scientific method. We may not have time for the whole thing, but no, we do have time. But first, Commander Carey, you start to steer the ship away from the planet, away from the Romulans, and towards the star. And you see a second solar flare coming off of the star. It's not coming directly at you.
Commander, Captain, it's happening again.
Evasive maneuvers. Try to get us away from that.
Maneuvers.
You dodge bits of purple energy as you see. You turn the sensor cameras towards the thing that's being shot off. The solar flare again coalesces into a second mass. You can also see that the first mass that came off before has solidified. It's still got a little bit of a purplish glow, but it's not a sun. It's not swirling energy. It's a planet. It resembles a planet, and it's orbiting the purple star. But you continue getting closer. I don't know how close you want to get.
I mean, as we get close to this thing, like, is it affecting our shields? Is the effect of like the power drain increasing in intensity as we get closer?
So you continue going cautiously, more and more closer to it to see what happens. And you do see, as you're monitoring your power levels and you're looking for effects like that, you do see power levels start to drain faster.
Shit. All right. Keep us at a good distance. I don't want to lose weapons and shields, not with a Romulan warbird out there.
Roger that, Captain.
Hagen, this is as close as I can get you.
Going to do everything I can. All right. I will attempt to...
So what are you going to do?
Attempt to make telepathic contact with it.
Okay. So what do you propose for attributes and disciplines for this? There's different ways to approach it.
Ooh, dumb question. Should we put you in a shuttlecraft?
No. No.
It would get you closer without endangering the ship.
Yes, but it would endanger me in the ship.
Yeah,
Endanger
but
the
like,
shuttlecraft.
But then the ship wouldn't be in danger. I'm spitballing ideas because I don't know if the captain would say this out loud. But you know, I'm thinking as a player, I should kind of think about it.
Insight command is what I'm going to propose. Because
insight command.
Yes,
yeah.
Making contact.
That's fair.
How are we on?
It's like a fancy shuttle.
A fancy shuttle with rose petals.
Listen, just because I have a focus in small craft does not mean I want to be out there. I'm going to spend a point. I'm going. Do I get to know how many I need?
Yes. The difficulty is 4.
All right, so I'm going to get 2. I'm going to buy 1 momentum to get an extra die.
Just a little trip out in the Karna. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Do you have any rerolls or anything from chat that you've gotten? Chat, do you want to donate to Calvin?
Well, yes, please donate something.
I mean, I've got extra determination, but I'm not sure how much determination I can use.
You can use what you have. We're bending the rule. We're giving. You had an extra point from chat. And
yeah, but what can I do with it? Is the other question.
You can use a value, but only if you have one that applies.
I have your back to guard the rest of the crew, to protect them and everyone here, to keep them so that they can keep flying, so that they can keep
right.
Going.
So there's currently 150 people on this vessel, counting on you, on your psychic powers to talk to a star. That's not something anyone's ever done.
And a planet.
And a planet with another 1,500 people, and a Romulan ship if you care.
I care.
Thank you so much, Darla Donna, who just donated $25.67. Who would like a critical success?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Have a conversation with the celestial body.
So there you go. Thank you so much. You are awesome.
Thank you.
Darla's so great.
She is. So, that gives me, before I roll, 6 successes and 3 dice to roll.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So rolling the dice is about getting momentum and possibly getting complications.
All right, it's a 3. It is a 16, which is a fail. And an 8, which is a success.
So how many successes? So you're using your focus of empathy.
8. I don't have a... Okay, even using my focus and empathy, that gives me 1 more?
Yeah.
So I'm up to 9, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have a talent called interrogation. When you
No.
succeed at a task to coerce someone to reveal information in a social conflict? No? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not having a social.
Not a social conflict?
You are not
Well, you
talking
have-
to the planetoid.
You're not arguing with the star yet. You just
Yeah.
want to get its attention and try to get on the same mental wavelength, literally.
Yeah.
The
Just trying to use everything at my disposal.
The metaphorical version of your captain just nudges you in the shoulder.
All right, so I've got that generates like if I got 9, that generates
5 momentum.
5 momentum.
Good God.
And so I'm gonna start spending to get answers for stuff.
Sure.
Is that a thing I can do?
If you're doing something that is trying to get information, yes.
I'm trying to get information.
First, you're trying to make contact.
Yes.
And you've succeeded. So you can try to. So this is like, you can try to read any thoughts and emotions coming from it, and in addition, you can see whether it's capable of receiving anything from you, which is a different question, but it's part of the same operation.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna do that.
So what would you like to? What do you want to do? What's the first thing you would like to address?
All right. Where are you from is the main thing I need to know, so that'd be first.
Thank you, Anonymous, for the $10.73 donation.
Thank you,
The
Anonymous.
second, yeah, the place it's from is my first thing that I want to know. The second is it aware that we are here, and that it is hurting us? And how can we help it? And can it understand me?
Okay, so you're trying to sense. You're trying to sense things. Well, you're asking questions, specifically trying to read its mind, not so much trying to send it questions. You're just trying to read things off of it. First of all, right?
And yeah, I will send it one thing, being like, "Hello, we are living."
What do you do first? Try to read, or
you know what? He's not going to try to pierce through. First, he's going to say, "Hello, we are living. May we talk?"
Okay. You got a lot of successes, and you receive back something that's not. It's not a language that you can hear as a language. It's not that kind of thing. You don't have to speak the same language as somebody to have a mental telepathic conversation, but it helps. And in this case, you're kind of more limited to emotions and visualizations.
Yeah.
For common reference points.
Quick
how to
interjection. Thank you, One-Sama-chan, for the $25 donation. That is awesome.
Yay.
You are a rock star.
So who wants that crit and who wants the other reroll? Raise your hands.
Ruan, have a crit. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm
Ruan,
gonna need something.
you're gonna do something.
That's
so
it,
Ruan, take both.
Okay.
So Hagen, you're making contact with the star, and you are sensing a consciousness. You're sensing panic and anxiety and homesickness, and a strange mix of euphoria.
That's the epidural. Yeah.
This is a being that is more stressed out than anybody you've ever met. This being is having like a bad day, but it's also simultaneously having a wonderful day in a way that it's never had before.
Then I'm going to, in my head, imagine finding a dog that's been lost. And seeing a poster that says missing dog. And then myself knocking on a door, and then someone answering the door, letting the dog in.
So you visualize those events, those very humanoid events, with humanoid reference points.
Yeah.
Giving yourself a little bit of, in your head, a little bit of emotions that you can get when you're telling a story or role playing or acting. so that there's a part of you that feels those emotions and feels the concept of what is that concept that you're trying to get across?
It's more from the dog's point of view than anything else, of wandering fear, a little bit of relief, and then the joy of home.
Okay. You sense something different now from the star. You sense that it's turned its attention towards you. That after you sent that message about a creature returning home and going from a state of feeling unsafe to a state of feeling safe and home again, that the star psychically raises its eyebrow at you and thinks, someone understands me, someone's out there, someone's listening. Who's there? I don't see anyone. And you get this picture of the world where it's a day-to-day life of living in space and having stars all around you, but the stars are your family. And that your communication about a dog returning to a doorstep is very foreign, but it thinks it understands the point, and it wants to show you that what it's accustomed to is not what it's experiencing, and that it shows you these yellow stars that are the stars of that you're accustomed to, and it shows them with a feeling of absolute terror.
It's not from here, I'll say out loud. I don't know where it's from, but it's just a place with purple stars like it. It's not a star map or anything.
Can I use my astronavigation to pull up some information on like our pad of where something like that might have been recorded?
Yeah, you can. So that will be your con and something. Your con and probably reason. But in this, because it's in the heat of multiple emergencies, you can use daring.
I'll use daring.
It's life, Jim, but not as we know it.
Okay, so that is one. Oh, and I have a crit. So do I add it to my dice, or does it replace a dice?
A crit is 2 successes.
Okay,
no, she has an automatic crit.
Oh, you mean you have an automatic crit from chat? You want to use that? Just add it.
Okay,
That's an
so
extra
then
success.
I have 2 crits, 1 success. So that's 5.
And are you using a focus?
Yes. Astronavigation.
Astronavigation. So that might give you more successes if anything was below.
That's that's including.
You counted that.
Yeah.
So how many success? Oh, sorry. So the difficulty, 5. Okay. Well, the difficulty to look something like that up is 3, because you have to go through everything as quick as you can, and so you bank 2 successes because you're real good at this. Someone please add those 2 successes. But I mean 2 momentum. Sorry, but you quickly page through lots of star charts, and you can't find anything in Federation database about a region of space full of purple stars. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, it's like there's no record. Unfortunately, I tried to see if maybe there was a record in our Starfleet database. There isn't.
That's all right, Commander. Lieutenant Commander Hagen, are you all right?
Maybe that jerk will know.
Look at the screen. Oh.
I look at Q.
Oh, Q's not there anymore.
Oh.
Q hasn't hung out the whole time. He's.
Real quick.
I point to where he used to be. Oh.
Thank you for the $10 donation. It was there and it was gone. I didn't quite catch the name. It was Saw something. I'm so sorry, but thank you. Thank you. Yes. So much for that.
But it's not. It's elsewhere.
Am I able to contact the colony from engineering?
You had to, there was a complication that disrupted communications when there was that solar flare, but the solar flare is passing because it's formed into a planet. So you can try to reestablish communications.
I would like to do so.
Okay, so that will be, you can use, what do you propose using? Control engineering would be fine. Control con.
Control engineering would be slightly better for me.
Okay, so roll 2 dice. Difficulty is 2 because of the interference.
Okay. I would like to spend a momentum, if I may.
You get an extra die.
Okay.
Spend momentum at your discretion. It's there to be spent.
Oh, okay. So I rolled a 1, which is great because the other 2 were fails. So 2 successes.
2 successes. So you reestablish communications with the colony.
I'm going to cut right to it.
You see the young woman again. New talk comes on the screen. You're on the bridge, right?
I'm in engineering. It was one of my questions was, could I establish communication from there?
Sure. You just have a smaller screen.
Okay.
And then there are people. It's just you. It's you in the conversation.
Okay. Hi. Could I ask you a few questions?
Hi. Did you finish? Did you fix it?
Not yet. But I wanted to know what happened when it first appeared. Did it come through like a big hole in space? Do you remember?
I didn't mean anything. Just don't tell my mom.
Oh no, it's just between us, honey. What happened? You can trust me. It'll be okay.
Like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to show her that I could make something new, like that, because she's invented so many things. She invented that whole like holodeck thing where you can like eat stuff. That was her. She invented it. Like I just wanted to show her that I could make something, like I could alter time or something. I could alter a bunch of stuff. So I just used the shuttlecraft, and I just altered the warp field emitter just a little bit, just to see, because we're always using we're always looking at the nebula, and I didn't know anything.
I won't tell her, but why don't you send me those files? Send me what you did, okay?
You promise you won't tell?
I promise.
She gets really mad. I know she's like, we're Vulcan and we act like we don't get mad. We get mad. She gets really mad.
She seemed, I promise I won't tell her. It'll be okay.
Okay. Hold on. She's typing stuff.
Did I hear this? Tobin's not going to say anything, but can Tobin hear this conversation?
I imagine she's like,
because she is right there.
You were just working on projects together.
Yeah. And we're trying to figure out how to get it back to where it needs to go. So yeah.
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 If you're not right there, I'm waving you over. But like,
as soon as I get that information, Tobin's going to be all over that and figure out what it is to see if we can fix it.
And while she's typing, her mother comes into view, and looks at New Talk, looks at the view screen. Oh, Federation. We're still freezing.
We're aware. We're working on it right now. It shouldn't be much longer. We thank you for your patience. We wanted to just contact you to give you a small update that the solar flares that you may have seen in the sky shouldn't be a problem for your planet. So just sit tight, and supplies are on their way.
What are you doing, New Talk? New Talk finishes typing. Oh, nothing. We were just talking.
Oh, it's my apologies. I was just curious about some of your culture, and your daughter was kind enough to send me some for her schoolwork that she'd been working on. Purely curiosity.
This is how you're spending your time during an emergency?
You're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. We're gonna
dear.
Get right back to that, ma'am.
My gratitude.
Thank you.
The screen goes dark.
Okay, give me the files. Don't just give me the files. Give me the files. Okay. And then starts looking at them to try to figure out if there's a way we can reverse this and send it back to where it's from.
Oh Lord, okay. Engineering to bridge.
Bridge, what have you got for me, Doctor?
We got a breakthrough. I think we figured out how this phenomenon was caused. We're working right now to reverse it.
Understood. Keep us appraised. Bridge out.
So you're reading the files.
Yeah.
And what you see is that this teenage Vulcan tried to run an experiment. She took out the colony's single shuttlecraft and in secret at night and modified some warp field emitters to do something highly illegal, which is a few years ago, Starfleet discovered that warp fields are dangerous to space. They do permanent damage to the spatial environment, and they make it so that space that has a lot of warp field activity becomes dangerous to travel through, and bad things happen to your body and your ship when you travel through those spaces. So Starfleet temporarily limited what you can do with warp while they sort it out. And then when they built the Intrepid class ship, Tobin Rulon, you know this in great detail because you helped design part of the system. They discovered that if you have pylons that are variable geometry, and you move the nacelles when you go to warp, and you move them back when you're not at warp, that it's possible to reshape the warp bubble that you use in such a way that you don't do damage to subspace when you go to warp. And that's how Voyager goes to warp safely and could go at very high speeds without damaging subspace, as far as anyone knows. And it's how the Indra does the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we think. We don't know for sure because they just disappeared. And
it's really inconsiderate of them, honestly.
Voyager did disappear. So there's that. And you have
who knows where they are and where my stuff went? I don't know.
They went to the land of purple stars. So you know what that's like, the whole history of that technology and the science behind it. What Newtalk did was she intentionally used the illegal kind of warp field in the extreme. She went the other way and tried to screw up space.
Can I fix it?
To see what would happen.
Can I fix it?
Can you fix it? Is a good question. So you can see what she did. Her files, like, she's trying to be scientific about it and write everything down. But she didn't show any. It's like her diary. It's her science diary.
Yep, like a science diary.
It's her like for future generations, it's great, but she's not going to show her mom her science.
Yeah.
Because she screwed up and everybody's going to die. So
I hate this kid so much.
So this is what Vulcans do instead of drugs.
mess with space time. No big deal.
Yeah. So
putting her in the academy, goddammit.
So she fired a concentrated warp emitting beam at the nebula, at the heart of the nebula, and her readings showed that her calculations were that something interesting would happen and she might cause a little time travel or something, but it wouldn't be a disaster, she thinks, her hypothesis.
Well, it is.
Oh, you know, just a
smidge of a temporal anomaly.
The extra complication, in addition to doing something stupid and illegal by herself, was that an ion storm hit at that same time. And the combination of the three forces together did something that her calculations did not account for in any way. And she didn't just cause something interesting to happen, she opened a portal to somewhere else. And so if you wanted to open a portal to somewhere else, you could, in theory, do something kind of like what she did, maybe.
How would we make that safe? And get is there any way? Yeah, no, but is there any way we can do this so that it gets the result we want? Or is it just like, who knows what happens?
There's a lot about this that's who knows what happens.
Yeah.
This is not science this is the first evidence anyone has ever had of what happens when you put those three things together. No one's ever tried it. There hasn't been a reason to.
Would like to keep the bridge appraised.
The ion storm, what kind, is that like just the energy of the ion storm?
Yeah, so it's an ion storm is a bunch of particles traveling through the galaxy that are usually from a long forgotten supernova or something. And they come and go, they happen here and there. It's just storms at space. And there wasn't one that you've detected. No one's on sensors has detected an ion storm like now, but they said this was over a day ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if I can
try to jury rig something that would be physically similar in content to an ion storm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I have a focus in experimental technology, so I want to see if I can make this work so that we can have the same thing happen, shooting that energy back into the nebula to see if we can make it go back home.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to suggest to Lieutenant Rulon that we check in with the captain super fast before doing anything.
I mean, Lieutenant Rulon's already working, but you could check in with the captain.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. If you want to talk to the captain, that's fine.
No, go ahead. I'm just working.
Okay. Engineering to the bridge.
Before the bridge answers, the bridge needs to express that this particular character pairing is very near and dear to my heart. You're both a mess, and I adore it deeply. Bridge here. This better be more important than Romulans.
A little bit, maybe. So we figured out that there was a portal that got opened, and that's where the star came through. So it's possible that we could open up a similar portal, but it would be dangerous, potentially very dangerous. Rulon's working on it now.
Lock to Rulon.
Meanwhile, you see the Romulan ship off in the distance since you've traveled away from the planet. The Romulan ship has changed course and is going to one of the two new purple planets.
Yes, Captain.
Tubes, what are we doing here?
I think the only thing that we can do to get this back to where it needs to be and keep it out of the hands of the Romulans, we are going to create the same thing that happened last time and make that happen again. It's the only thing we can do, Captain.
If you trust it, I trust it.
I think it's our option.
Don't make me regret this, Tubes. Bridge out. Hell, I want an intercept core.
Long hold and engineering on Captain Rulon, Chief Rulon, with the weight of the world now on her shoulders, instead of on Hagen's.
So, is this something I'm doing by myself? Like, can I?
You can figure out how you want to approach the problem, and you can get help.
Okay. I have a lot I can spend, and I need to know how to spend it. So that's what I'm asking. What I would like to do is put this together using experimental technology, try to get the information, like the ion thing and the warp stuff, so that we can beam it at the same time into the nebula. Correct? That's what happened? Yeah. So we'd like to put something together that we can do that with, and then do it.
Yeah.
Those are my goals.
Yeah. So this is going to be an extended task.
So I will just say real quick, just to cut in on that, because I'm not sure if you saw what I said in the Zoom chat. Like, we are coming up on around the 30-minute mark, so adjust your GMing accordingly. Continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be keeping you appraised in the Zoom chat of our current time.
And that's 30 minutes of game time.
Then that's when we need to wrap, because we got another stream coming in. So
yeah, so less than 30.
At this point, yes.
Yeah. So fortunately, you figured out a lot of stuff, and we're actually getting towards the end of the story, which I didn't expect.
I wasn't expecting that to go so well.
No, same.
I had backup plans, but that didn't have to happen. So, Chief Rulon, your extended task is going to have a work track to, first you need to develop something that will create the simulated ion storm, and then you need to reproduce the highly illegal, very dangerous destruction of space that destroy a little bit of space to save a bunch of people.
Yep.
I think we should I have Lieutenant Rulon. I think we should not tell anyone that this is illegal. So if anyone gets in trouble, it'll just be us, not the rest of the crew.
You think that Lieutenant Rulon is nodding at you, but she's probably just really focused on what she's doing, but it looks like she's nodding back at you.
So the work track is going to be 10 units, and the magnitude is 2 breakthroughs. So you either need to fill the work track twice and/or have 2 tasks that result in 5 work being done, 5 or more work.
And what am I rolling for this?
You can be assisted by the ship for 1 die, and you can be assisted by 1 other person.
Okay.
You are rolling. What do you propose to roll?
Reason engineering.
Yeah, I think this is a reason engineering, which is good news.
I'm going to look at Dr. Dale. I need your help. I don't want anyone else to take the fall for this. Can you clear the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody else?
Umar ushers everybody out. They all leave.
Even though I'm probably a lower rank than most of the people in the room.
You are, but you're Allison in your staff because you're the chief medical officer. And I want to point out that you are the only person who can give the captain orders if the captain is not well.
For medical reasons, everyone needs sleep.
I'm feeling great. I got my wife right over there. She's.
Everybody here can give orders to somebody.
Okay, so that's.
And is there resistance in this? There's no resistance, but there is definitely some time pressure.
Okay. I'm going to use I have 2 crits.
You have 2 crits from chat.
From chat.
Donors donations.
Yep. I'm going to, and then I can roll my 2 dice, right?
You get 2 dice normally, and then you can apply focuses to make some of your dice hopefully give you more crits.
Okay, I do have experimental technology, which I think seems to be fitting well into that. And then, do you all want? I should probably spell some momentum, huh?
Go for it.
I haven't termination. I haven't spent it yet, and honestly, the value that really works well with that, and I can do that, is a failure to act can be as dangerous as acting rashly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
100%.
Be gay, do crime.
Be gay,
so that just gets me a crit, right?
That gets you a die that's rolled a 1, which is to say that if you want to buy more dice with momentum, they cost more because that one already got a die that way. And then, do you have any talents that you want to use that would help?
I do have the effect. I've got.
No resistance, but I said there wasn't any resistance.
And the only other thing I could think of is a little more power. I can gain us a power if I spend momentum.
An engineering task. Sure, you could do that.
So I'll spend it's 2 momentum to roll another dice. So I'll roll 4 dice. I've got 6 successes already.
So your first determination is a die that's already been rolled as a 1. You don't have to roll it.
Right. Oh, okay.
And then your momentum your 2 momentum that you spend is an extra die.
Okay.
So you'll have a die that's already rolled 1 and 3 dice that you need to roll. And then the ship will give you a die. Someone who wants to roll for the ship.
I'll roll.
Isn't it 1 for the first momentum, 2 for the second one? So
it is, except that it's 1 for the first die, and if that's a determination die, then it's still 2 momentum for the second die, which is why they phrase it a certain way.
Cool.
For that particular case. And the ship, and then you're being assisted by Dr. Dale.
I have technical expertise when you attempt to
assisted me by clearing the room too, yeah.
Yeah. Am I also rolling?
You're also rolling.
I have technical expertise. When you attempt a task assisted by the computers or sensors, I can reroll a single die. Am I able to use that even though I'm assisting?
Well, the nature of your assistance, I think, is a little different in this regard because what you're actually doing is wrangling the crew.
Yeah, if we're going to treat clearing the room as assistance, which works really well for Chief Rulon's style, then it's the speed and quietness with which you do it is your presence command.
Okay.
So, which may not be great, but you'll roll your presence command and apply any focuses, determination, talents.
I rolled too high for it to matter. So.
Okay, so you got them out of the room, but it didn't help that much.
Yeah.
You're protecting them, but you're not necessarily assisting successfully.
All of this going on, I will remind folks, while the lights are dim and the red thingies are flashing, because we're still at red alert.
Yeah.
So the ship rolled.
You're you're not as close to the Romulans, so if you wanted to stand down red alert, you could. It just changes the overlay, changes how people on the ship behave, like what they,
We're also still like in the middle of this, like we're kind of in limbo up on the bridge while this is going on. So
yeah. So, so Chief Rulon and Commander Care is rolling for the
ship got a 7.
A 7, and it was rolling. What was it rolling? Computers, or what? Yeah, computers and science. So it succeeded. And what did you roll?
Okay, so I used my 2 crits, which is 4, correct? Plus my determination, which is 6.
Yeah.
Plus I also rolled a 5, which is my engineering, so that's 2 more, so that's 8. And then I rolled 2 successes, so 9, 10.
Very nice.
Hey, it's important. We got to get this done.
No,
okay.
I know. You know.
There's 2 phases to this, which we'll cut short if we're too short on time, but I think we can do it. So
20 minutes.
The difficulty to do work to create all these things was 4, and you got 10 successes.
Yes.
So you're real determined, and you're real like working super great, and you got 6 momentum banked on top of what you had before. You succeeded. Now you roll the work, the amount of work that's done, which is 2 6-sided dice, and they have their special values on them, which we'll go over again if you don't remember them.
I only rolled 2 6-sided dice.
Plus the discipline that you're using.
Oh, so plus engineering, so that's 7 for me.
So 7 6-sided dice.
Okay, well I'll have to re-roll that. Okay, so 4s and 3s are 0s, correct?
Correct.
5s are 2 plus an effect.
5s are 1 plus an effect.
Oh, 1
effects
plus
have
effect.
no effects. Do not affect extended tasks unless they do. Unless you have something that says they do.
Okay, so and then so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So 7. Momentum spends that you can do for extended tasks are reroll some work dice, and to get 1 additional work per momentum that you want. So the work track is 10, and you got 7 work done. That
So
gives you 1 breakthrough right away. But if you wanted to finish the work track, you could spend momentum to do 3 more work.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll spend the momentum for the 3 more.
You rolled really well, so you can use that for extra work.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You get your 2 breakthroughs done, and you figure out how pretty quickly, because you're really good at this, and someone was nice enough to clear the room, and you can concentrate.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that like Tobin's like at a station and then starts to move from like station A to station B, heedless of the people in between, and Teska's just like okay. Just like pulling people out of the way as Tobin starts bouncing around.
And you see, like, as Tobin's doing this, you see her like just make moves that normal people can't make. She's like reaching further beyond what like a normal back would do, and it's because you know that she's been injured and be reconstructed, but like so she's doing all these things all over the place, like just back and forth.
Tell the audience about that. What is that about?
Tobin was in an accident and completely smashed her spine and had to have it restructured, so she has a prosthetic spine.
And her prosthetic spine is slightly improved. She's the bionic woman in her spine.
Just at the spine though.
Very bendy.
So she can access every part of the console really quickly, much more so than most people, without using her legs. You can. So you're almost simultaneously like working on how do I simulate an ion storm using the emitters on the ship? How do I replicate the illegal malformed warp bubble emitting that Nutok did, and then how do you apply both of those from different emitters to the same spot within the nebula, somewhere in the vicinity of the close to where Nutok did it, and close to where the purple star is. And you sort all that out. You have a plan of attack. You know what chemicals you need, what processes you need. You know how to affect, how to use the warp drive. The warp drive is offline, but you're able to patch together subsystems that will create the warp beam to modify space. It can't take the whole ship anywhere, but it can do something to a spot in space.
When I notice,
you have no idea what it's going to do, except hopefully what you want.
when I notice she's getting close, I will alert the bridge to stand by.
Brace for impact.
Yeah, something like that. Or stand by, we're gonna try something.
So that
Are we shuffling to the left or to the right?
Understood. Keep us apprised. Do you need the shields up or down?
You're gonna need them down.
Down.
Oh, god damn it.
Shields down, please.
Star Trek rules, you can't shoot stuff if you have shields up.
Hagen.
Because it's just like.
Hagen, drop the shields.
Yes, Captain.
Tubes, whatever you're gonna do, make it quick.
The Romulans are approaching the purple planet.
Just gonna do it. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna do it.
I believe in you.
You push the big button.
Right before I'm going to say, what do you think this will do to the Romulan ship?
You know, I've got a list of about 37,000 concerns right now. They're not even on that list.
A yellow, you hit the button?
Yep.
A yellow beam shoots out of one sensor emitter on the Indra, and a blue beam shoots out of a different sensor emitter, and both beams fire towards the same spot in the nebula, where a sphere of light starts to build and become an orange mass that grows, and the particles of the nebula start to spin around this mass, and it expands and starts to open up into something. And you see, it looks like it's now, there's space on the other side of it. The edges are glowy, but it looks wormhole-like in its openness, and the fact that you can look inside of it and see something strange. And what you see inside is distorted, as if light is not traveling in straight lines, but it's another region of space, and it's full of purple stars.
Yeah, perfect. And then I'm gonna engineering to the bridge.
Bridge here. What am I looking at?
It's home. Lieutenant Commander. Tell it to go home.
I will reach out for it and say goodbye, and the dog walking through that open door. Image.
You see a woman in that doorway that you conjured, picking up the dog and carrying it inside and closing the door. And with your eyes on screen, you see the two purple planets that are orbiting the purple star start to move in closer to it, and the star starts to shift and move towards the opening that the two beams are still affecting, still sending energy towards. And the Romulan ship seems to be getting pulled along for the ride. It was orbiting one of the purple planets.
Shields are down, right? We got power.
Shields are down.
Commander, have we got power to the tractor beam?
I will make every attempt to save them.
And you notice, Commander Care, that your attempt at an all-stop doesn't seem to be holding. Something is pulling the ship.
Captain, we've got bigger problems. We seem to be going towards the portal, too.
Full impulse reverse.
I try to do a full impulse reverse.
Roll. Control con.
Would my evasive action apply?
No, that's dodging something that's shooting at you.
Okay.
This is pushing hard against some kind of force. Oh no.
Did you roll a 20?
No, I got a 19 and a 16. Okay, so one success, actually.
Okay. The you didn't get a complication because I didn't lower the complication range. So you are able to stay still. You're not able to get away from this portal, but you're able to push against the eddies of energy of whatever the nature of this pull is. And you don't know if it's coming from the portal or if it's coming from the star or something else. But you're just treading water.
Actually, I still have a determination point that I haven't used at all in this game. I think I should use it.
Now or never. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I would like to use my value propulsion as a science, navigation, and art. To sort of do some navigation thingies to sort of bring
Propulsion,
us back.
science, navigation, art. So you use that, you get yourself 2 extra successes. You instead of just trying to push directly against it, you try to struggle free from whatever kind of leash it has on you. This isn't gravity, this is something else. And you try to go turn perpendicular to the direction of force, and you basically the portal is like a plane that's pulling things toward it, and you're getting off the train tracks. So it's pulling everything that it can see directly towards it. So you manage to get the ship out of the line of sight of this portal. And Lieutenant Commander Hagen, you saw those purple stars on the other side of that portal.
Yes.
And just before you go out of range, you get this feeling from that portal of hundreds of voices calling to a lost friend.
Excellent work, Commander. Mr. Hagen, do we have a tractor beam on that Romulan vessel?
I will try, Captain. I will try. Yes, Captain. Yes, I will try.
So roll your, what do you propose to roll? You're on tractor beam thing.
I think
so probably
I would say, well, con or security, because it is technically an attack.
Could be, yeah.
All right, and would you say daring?
Yes.
Because I can't make an excuse for fitness.
Nope. You can't push the button hard enough to make it work.
I just know the lever I have to.
Is there any way in hell?
Help me turn this wheel.
They're not a small craft. Okay.
Is there any way in hell I could assist with this? I don't know if there is.
Now,
if you can think of one.
I got an extra point of determination at one point, so I should still have 1.
And what value would apply here?
Kill only as a last resort, because they will die in there.
No, I don't think you're
okay. Doesn't work.
To kill or not kill.
Yeah, because this isn't me.
You're just regular trying to save somebody.
All right. We've got. I will spend 1 for an extra momentum. 1 momentum for an extra die. And let's see what I get. My total is 5 + 8, 13.
Sorry, and the difficulty is 2.
A natural 1.
Yes. Hot damn.
And a 15, so just the natural 1.
Nice.
Oh, I get a third die. 18.
Excellent.
For that nat 1.
So no complications. You got your 2 successes. You get a tractor beam on the Romulan ship. The Romulan ship is no longer in orbit around the purple planet that's getting sucked into the portal along with the star. And it gets really close, but the portal's starting to lose integrity as the beams that Rulon is sending out start to thin out. Like, you don't have an unlimited amount of energy to send these beams forever. But the star has slowly passed through. The 2 planets orbiting it have slowly passed through the portal, and the Romulan ship narrowly averts entering the portal and goes off to the side as you're yanking it out of the line of pull. What was your question?
As soon as they pass through, can I end it?
Yes.
Okay.
So you cut it?
Yeah.
Cut the beam?
As soon as they pass through.
They pass through, you cut the beams, and the portal shrivels down to nothing and disappears.
Stand down, red alert.
I don't know that I have a noise for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of a light show.
Yeah. They don't usually
we
make
have a sound for tractor beams.
Oh, we missed the sound for tractor beams.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's still engaged, so
Appropriate.
it's
It's still happening. You still have the
yeah.
tractor beam.
I'm not going to put it on repeat.
So you have a tractor beam against a Romulan ship that was like, they may have had their weapons on before, but at the moment they're more focused on other things. They were trying not to get sucked into another place. You receive a hail.
I'm sure we do. Before I release this tractor beam, yeah, I'm not answering that. Before we release this tractor beam, Commander Care, a message, if you would, please, for the Romulan vessel. We thank them for their assistance in this matter with our scientific endeavors out here on the edge of the neutral zone. We look forward to continuing to cooperate with them in the future. And if they ever find themselves in need of Federation assistance again, the Indra is more than happy to save their butts.
I smile as I'm typing and I send the message.
Do you include the word butts?
I mean,
Yeah.
I said that in character, so.
Yeah.
And do you include the word butts?
Yes.
Wouldn't be the Indra if we didn't.
True. So true.
Commander Curry, you have the con. I'll be in my quarters. And I escort my wife off the bridge.
What do you do, Commander Care? You send the message.
Send the message and I say, I go, bridge to engineering. Is our warp drive back?
You check on the warp drive and try to power it up, and it responds successfully.
Yep. We're good to go.
And I say to our con officer, set the coordinates for our next place.
And then I'm gonna go check on this pregnant EMH.
Commander Care, it occurs to you that however rude they were, the Vulcan science colony still, while saved, hasn't had any follow-up yet.
Oh, fair.
Oh,
You can-
right.
You
I
can
would have
send
known
a
to do
subspace
that.
message. You can still send them a subspace message after leaving and just be like, sorry, we had to be, we're real busy. Good luck. But,
Okay, thanks,
should be fine.
bye. I would have known that as a commander. I just, me, the player, was trying to find a nice way to wrap up.
Just some shivering Vulcans somewhere going, were they going to send a space heater?
But it's no longer cold.
They send you a thank you message. Their weather is returning to normal. Their suns are operating correctly, and their systems start to work again. Miraculously, there is no evidence that Naro ever found out that it was Nutok's fault, which was quite an accomplishment.
All right. Well,
that I didn't expect.
This game was absolutely amazing. I hate to kind of cut us there, but we super need to wrap here.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we just have everybody say where their stuff is?
Yeah, just like real super quick. If we could just say like who we are. If you got something real super quick you want to plug, please do it. We're just gonna go around the horn here, starting with our own Commander Kieran Care. Who are you? Where are you at on Twitter? And plug something.
Yeah, so I am Miriam. You can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. In addition, I will be running a game in 4 hours from now, which is a Stars Amin one-shot for the charity stream. Please tune in for that. Well, stay put for this one that's coming up, and also tune in for that too.
Lieutenant Commander Etas Hagen, who are you and what do you do?
Thanks. I'm Bisonic Kevin on Twitter, and you can find me. The best place to find me is here on this channel Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, running Rifts. It's a weird game.
It's an awesome game.
And no
It's
matter
an
what.
awesome game that also has our own Lieutenant Tobin Rulin. Who are you and what do you want to plug?
Hi, I'm Kate. I'm me and Midder on the Twitters, and join us most Sunday nights, not this one because of the stream, but anytime after that, for our emissaries of Avithna, all femme and BK.
And of course, our Ensign Doctor, Teska Dale. Who are you and what do you like to talk about?
I am Litza Bronwyn. I'm on Twitter at Litza Bronwyn, and linked there is my Patreon that I have with my husband, and we do a bunch of RPG stuff, and it's all free, so you should totally check it out. That's about it.
Awesome.
And Joe, who the
And
heck
I'm Joe
are you?
Kondo.
Who are you?
I'm on Twitter. There's my Twitter handle, and I run Picard Tips and Riker Googling and Star Trek Hour and Worf Email and stuff. And I stream on Twitch, and I'm on Twitter too much.
It's been great. Absolutely fantastic.
It has been
Thank
unbelievable.
you all so much for playing.
I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter. The only thing I'll plug is the channel, because right now it is running an amazing giveaway, Jesus. Charity stream. Donate to Racist Texas, like one Shadlin W just did. She just donated $16.17 because donation is the best nation. Racist is an incredible charity. They do amazing work helping out undocumented folks and immigrant families get the legal help they need, because the world is kind of bullshit for them. So stay tuned with us. We are going to keep this train rolling. We've still got another 20 hours to go. We have raised an amazing, mind-boggling $2,752.08. Love those weird numbers. I don't ever want to see 0 cents. Keep donating weird totals. I'm about to wrap up. I got to get all these wonderful folks out of the way, get our next stream going. Before I do, we do have one more giveaway to go, which if I had been more prepared for that, I totally would have prepped. And I'm definitely not panicking now in order to get ready to go. So let's just talk about what the prizes are going to be, because I now need to copy them into the chat thing. It's a whole deal, folks. Listen,
Someone just put Dice Not Ice into the
Dice Not Ice, people.
Dice Not Ice.
Oh, jeez, you are not the. That is my character sheet, and you know what? We don't need that open anymore, so we'll just close it. Where on earth is my prize? There we go. There's my prizes. There's my wonderful prizes. Okay, so we have got a Riffs Mega Bundle, which includes a bunch of really super cool Riffs books, including, I believe, an art book from John Zalesnik signed by the artist, which is kind of...
All of the books are signed.
That's, how... So, just as a note, Kate did all of our prize support for this and knocked it out of the goddamn park. So, we are going to, there we go. I have just opened up the giveaway. Slam into that chat, ! Cute Vulcan. And you will be entered into the drawing for either a $40 Modifius gift certificate or the Riffs Mega Bundle, which includes Riffs Ultimate Edition, Bestiary Volume 1 Sourcebook, and the Riffs in the Megaverse Zalesnik art book signed by the artist. We're going to get out of your hair. The stream's going to go to break for a little bit while we get that all squared away and I get new calls and stuff started. Stay tuned, folks. There's a lot more incredible stuff to come. See you then.